Hello and welcome to a DFS strategy video for the 2023 US Open. My name is Eric and here at SweetSpotDFS, it's all about trying the optimal lineup every single week. We did a preview video last night. We went over the stats that mattered. This video is all about finding the golfers with those stats and adding a few things in that I like to do with the strategy video, which includes the marquee tee times as well as the anchor buckets. We're trying to narrow down our player pool to build our lineups around. That's what this video is aimed to do. And then later on, the end of the video, I will build lineups. If you want to come in and give me 2 to 4 golfers that you want me to build lineups for, or around, I should say, I will do just that. That will be it's about an hour. I go through the strategy portion, about an hour into it, and then we start building lineups. Before we get into any of that, just a reminder of some giveaways I like to run. The first one being a subscriber giveaway. I do a weekly and monthly version of this giveaway. All you have to do is be subscribed to the channel, participate either here in the live chat or on any of the videos that I posted. I believe there should be 5 out there already that you can go and post, leave a comment on. For each video you leave a comment on, you get 1 free entry into the weekly giveaway as well as the monthly giveaway. The weekly is for $5. The monthly you can see on the screen is $50. The only caveat with the monthly is that we have to reach that sub goal you see all the way over there to the left. If we reach 600 subscribers by the end of the month, that next Monday, the Monday of the next month, or the first Monday of the next month, in that preview video, I'll run the monthly giveaway for $50 that you can see up there, or we'll give away a t-shirt that has this logo on it, except for it won't be mirrored. It will come to you the right way around. So that is the weekly and monthly giveaway reminder. Another reminder is Prize Picks. If you want to play Prize Picks, you haven't signed up yet and you're in a state that allows it. If you use the promo code SweetSpot and you put $20 in your account, you're going to get $20 back from me. Plus, Prize Picks will match your deposit up to $100. So if you just put 20 in, you'll get 40 in your account. If you want to put more, by all means do so. You're still going to get $20 from me. And that way you get to play Prize Picks for a little bit cheaper. And of course, as I've been mentioning in all of my videos so far, Friday there is a super flex. That super flex allows you, or I shouldn't say super flex, it's a protected flex. What it allows you to do is play up to $20 on any flex, which is a 4-pick flex, a 5-pick flex, or a 6-pick flex, pretty much guaranteed money. You will get your $20 back if you win nothing. If you end up winning cash, say you get like 4 out of 6 picks right or 3 out of 5 picks right, that's like 40% back you get in cash. The other remaining amount, that whatever you put into, will get credited back to you under the credit portion of it. So it's, in my opinion, a fun way just to keep playing Prize Picks every week. Just put that $20 in every Friday. If you don't hit with your picks, you're going to get your $20 back. So again, there's a way for you to play Prize Picks every single week for free. Use the promo code SweetSpot when you sign up, put $20 in your account, and then there you go. There you have it. You can play every Friday for free, essentially. It is protected, like I said. There's a link in the description to get you to this Prize Picks website. You can also download the app and sign up there. Those are the monetary giveaways. A reminder, I have a cheat sheet that you can follow along with me while I go throughout the strategy video, or even the preview videos that, or the preview video I did yesterday, or any of those additional videos that I have out there. You can follow along with me. There's a link in the description that gets you to this cheat sheet. You have not only the dream sheet here, but you also have the bucket system, which obviously I talk about in the preview video. I'll be talking about in this video as well. And again, the dream sheet that has all of the data that I use when building lineups. All of this you can use to your own disposal, or at your own disposal. If you do come to this site, you can use the filters that are on here, but you cannot manipulate the data. I have it protected. If you want to manipulate the data, just go up to the file menu and make a copy. That's the one way you can do it. Otherwise, it is read-only, but you still can use the filters that I have on the spreadsheet. So again, you can follow along with me. Pretty simple, pretty easy. And then one last piece, one last giveaway that I'm providing is an optimizer. I will be showcasing this at the end of the video. We'll be building lineups with this optimizer. Why this is unique versus other ones. I have the bucket system conditionals in here. So again, whatever I went over in the preview video, what I'm about to go over in the strategy video will revolve around these buckets. And they're already in here for you. Of course, you can manipulate this however you'd like. I do have a video in the description for this on how to use it to your own, I guess your own efficiency. However you want to use it, you can use it that way. But everything that I talk about in the SweetSpot process is in this optimizer. I love it. It's helped me win a lot of money. Tinkering around with lineups, we had Nick Lazar as well as Ryan Henson win a lot of money last week. They didn't use the lineups that we built, but they used a lot of the golfers in the lineups that we built. Just gave them more confidence in selecting the golfers they want. So again, this will be available to you as I'm going through this video. If you want access to this optimizer, I do have my email up. So if you want to email me at sweetspotdfs@gmail.com, letting me know that you would like to use the optimizer, as long as I know you're subscribed to the channel or you're commenting here in the live chat or on any of the other videos, I will send it to you. No issue, no problem. But I do require a little participation on your end for me to send you the optimizer. But it's available for you right now. It's all updated with everything. Not only do you get the optimizer, you get a way to track how many lineups you're building. Also the combinations. I know you can't really see this if I were to zoom in. This piece right here is kind of just a matricy that will report into here. I always forget to mention this. You can unhide these columns and you can see which golfer is most matched with which golfer that's on here, and how many times. So if you want to limit that exposure, it's available to you on this spreadsheet. So a lot of little built-in things. You can also save your lineups. Like if the one that I have on the optimizer right now, if I were to go ahead and save this, like I'm just going to save it like 4 times, and then I'll build one new one and save that one, just to show you how this all works. I do that, and then I go to my my contest page, and I hit randomize. The lineups show up here, and they randomize. So you see 2 Patrick Cantlays up top. We'll see if Rory McIlroy shows up anywhere up there. There we go. You can't see that anyways. It's too small. But you can see Rory's there. It switches around. It truly randomizes your lineups. That way you can't have any bias when it comes to putting your lineups where you want to put your lineups. Not so much where you want to, but if you want no bias in where you put your lineups, you come here and you use the randomize tool. Otherwise, you can just copy them right here and go ahead and post them. It's pretty simple. I love this tool. I love this optimizer. You also have the dream sheet that's available here. I also have the bucket system on this You have everything. And I also have this little ownership sheet. If you can follow along with this, like when you get it and you know what I'm doing with all of it, all the more power to you. If not, you can always ask and I'll show you. But I usually grab my exposure levels from this column over here. It looks at the bucket system. It looks at the success rates. Looks at a bunch of things to let me know what my max exposure should be for each golfer. Again, optimizer is available to you. Go ahead, reach out to me through email, and I will send it to you. Otherwise, let's go ahead and get into this strategy video. What's going on, Barry, Jim, and Shalek Harden? I saw Gabe earlier in the chat. He usually just rewatches this early in the morning. So, Gabe, hello to you as well in the future. Let's go ahead and talk about the SweetSpot ranks right away. This is the 2022. I'm trying to figure out some ways to build around lineups. I'll mention that at the end of the video before we start building lineups. But when it comes to the SweetSpot ranks, let me scroll up. By the way, if you're following along with me on the cheat sheet, all you got to do is put that filter on that I have at the top of the sheet, and then go into column A, sort A to Z. Now, if you want to see what goes into my rankings, you're going to see that in the columns all the way over to the right on the cheat sheet. I can go ahead and show you guys here as well. Scroll all the way over to the right, and you've got your, basically my model is between columns CY and DR, and then it gets totaled up over in the column DT. Obviously, the score is then ranked based off of what scores highest, and Jon Rahm is my number one golfer. So what I usually put in the model is OWGR. That's the official world golf ranking. The grass stats that are on the golf course, or the grass that's on the golf course, we have bent grass is my grass 1. Bermuda grass is my grass 2. So you can see the point totals that go towards that. Tournament history, bogey avoidance, birdie or better, driving distance, that's season long. This comes from the PGA Tour, so it's truly from this season. Recent form stats, these go back the last 7 weeks. We're looking at DraftKings points, their average point, average finishing position, as well as average score per round. These are all kind of put into a tier and then given a point total based off of what tier they're in. So 50 is going to be the max for this stat, and then it just tiers down from there. Season long, however, so this is actually, I don't think it's season long, it's calendar year, 1 full year's worth of data. We got DraftKings, their average DraftKings points, average scoring, round to round under 70%, cut made percentage, and DK top 10. Now, if the golfers have the best score, they automatically get 100, and then it tiers down from there, at least for the DraftKings points. DraftKings scoring, round under 70 percentage, and cut made percentage all go by that. DK top 10, I have this tiered as well. Your best golfers in the field are going to have 100 points. Then that goes towards the score, and that score then goes into the ranks. You can see Scotty Scheffler and Jon Rahm are separated by less than 8 points. That's pretty cool. The 2 top golfers in the world are the 2 best golfers for this golf course or for this tournament. And then it goes down from there. So Patrick Reed down here, 16th place, by the way. So 16th rank in my model, live golfer, 1,080. So he's basically 200 points behind Jon Rahm, number 1. So it's those 2 guys. And then we can kind of talk about Cantlay and Schauffele, and even Rory, but then it drops down after that. And one other thing that I usually like to do, I forgot to mention this, go ahead and sort back salaries top to bottom. I usually try to find the $8,000 golfer wherever that row is on my spreadsheet. That's row 24. Anybody that jumps up, I would say, is a value. And then obviously we can talk about all the other golfers that kind of fluctuate. So row 24, we go here. Tommy Fleetwood right away. Looks like he's a value. Ricky Fowler, Tom Kim. I'm probably not going to play a lot of Tom Kim, if I'm being honest with you. But Patrick Reed looks enticing. Justin Rose, I absolutely love. Adam Scott, number 8 in my model. Anybody else have Adam Scott that high? I actually don't feel wrong for having Adam Scott that high. I like Adam Scott this week. I've liked Adam Scott for most of the weeks that he's played. If you've been to these strategy videos, I usually talk Adam Scott up. There's nothing to hate about Adam Scott's game. The guy is solid, and the putting is way better than it used to be. So I won't say I'm all in on Adam Scott, but at $7,500, holy moly, that's way too difficult to ignore. There are some other golfers. I mean, like Brooks, by the way, at 10,800, it's a major championship. So I almost feel like what I need to do to boost up his score is just put a Brooks column in just for himself and just give him 200 additional points towards his score, and then see where it ends up modeling out. Say this is a major championship. He gets 200 additional points. So yeah, he'd be the number 1 in the model. He'd be 1334. He'd be way over Jon Rahm. Maybe 200 points is too much, but say we give him 100 points. Where would he be in the model? So it'd be 1234. He'd be number 3 in the model, which, yeah, maybe we do give him an additional 100 points. Because, again, it is a major championship, and he's already proved to us the Masters, finished 2nd, won the PGA Championship. Hard to ignore Brooks's motivations when it comes to a major championship. So I think his ranking should be a little higher. Than you'd boost, or you'd bump down Adam Scott from number 8 to number 9, but he's still a tremendous value. Matt Fitzpatrick, $9,100, 13th in the model. Yeah. Spieth and Morikawa. Morikawa belongs down here, by the way. I know his pedigree, how good he can be, but he hasn't been good much at all this year. So him being number 20th in my model is fine. Jordan Spieth, is questionable. I don't mind him this low because he is erratic. Like, I just think of him as an erratic golfer, but I do think he probably should be a little higher. Like, I'd probably give him 12th. You know, if we were to substitute him, basically if we were to sub him and Sungjae around, I think that'd be fine. But then also sub Sungjae and Tom Kim around. So like Tom Kim would be where Jordan is, Sungjae would be where Tom is, and then we'd have Jordan Spieth up here. So we can give him a boost if we want to, Jordan Spieth that is, just because, you know, magic beans and that kind of stuff. All of the, and this course is going to require creativity. That's right up Jordan Spieth's alley. So I'd probably give him a little bit of a boost. The rest of the guys, like Justin Thomas, yeah, he deserves to be down here. Maybe not so much Jason Day, but I'm cool with him being down here as well. And Hideki, because of his injuries, I think he's down here, which I don't mind playing someone like Hideki Matsuyama this week. Justin Thomas, on the other hand, I probably won't. Like, I don't really care to, yeah, I really don't care to build lineups around Justin Thomas. There will be FOMO for sure, but until I see it happen, like until he actually plays better, I'm not going to. So anyways, these are your rankings, your sweet spot rankings for the US Open. Again, you can find these over on the cheat sheet, which again, link in the description. You can see the rankings over on the left side, and then you can obviously see the score all the way over on the right side. The score, or the rankings, reflect the score. The higher the score, the better the ranking. So you can see how everyone fares out on the cheat sheet. Now, the important thing about the sweet spot ranks is they then go into the marquee tee times. So if you're following along with me on the cheat sheet, that would be Group G. Group rank, that would be your marquee tee times. Maybe I just need to change this to be like MT for marquee. Well, it doesn't matter, but this is their group rank. So basically what I do is I add up the score, or the sweet spot ranks for each group, you know, that are paired together Thursday, Friday, and I see which one's the lowest. And then I rank order them from there. So your number one group is John Rahm, Xander Schauffele, Victor Hovland. Group 2 is Patrick Cantlay, Tony Finau, Jordan Spieth. Group 3 is Scheffler, Homa, Morikawa. Group 4 is McIlroy, Koepka, Matsuyama. Group 5 is Justin Rose, Ricky Fowler, Jason Day. Then we've got Tom Kim, Seth Theegala, and Cameron Young in Group 6. 7 is Patrick Reed, Siwoo Kim, Matt Kuchar. 8 is Tommy Fleetwood, Justin Thomas, Shane Lowry. That seems like a really interesting group. And then Group 8, Adam Scott, Corey Connors, Gary Woodland. Now, why I cover the marquee tee times is because I have tracked this ever since before Phil won the PGA Championship at Kiawah Island. So we're over 100 weeks that I've been tracking this. Over those 100 weeks, I've seen a trend that happens. And I've created a rule out of that trend. That trend is, of all of those weeks, 90% of the time, 2 to 4 golfers from the marquee tee times are in the optimal lineup. So that's my rule right away. You find 2 to 4 golfers from the groups that I have just highlighted, and choose your favorite 2 to 4 golfers. Now, there is a caveat too. Of all of those years, I shouldn't even say all those years. I really actually should narrow down on this stat as well, because sure, we have 10% of the time we really haven't seen either 2 to 4 golfers from the marquee tee times. So in that 90% is what I'm trying to get at. In that 90%, how often have golfers actually been in the same group? And I would say that would be less than 5%, because I think it's about also 10% where golfers are in the same group. So my rule is you find 2 to 4 groups from the marquee tee times, and you select only 1 golfer from each of those groups to anchor around your lineups. Now, last week we had Tommy Fleetwood and Nick Taylor finishing number 1 and number 2. They played together Thursday, Friday. Tommy Fleetwood was not in the optimal lineup, but he finished 2nd place. He was like 4th in DK points. So could you win a GPP with Tommy Fleetwood? Yes, because there was a winner that had Tommy Fleetwood as in their lineup that won a GPP. So you certainly can. I wouldn't do it twice. I mean, I'm still going to go by the numbers. I don't care. I'm not going to play golfers paired up together. And that's also built into the optimizer, by the way. So if you want the optimizer or if you have it already, that's all right in here. That's this section here of, group 1 through group 9. These are the marquee tee times. I don't want more than one from each of those groups. And then of all the groups, I want the optimizer to select me at least 2, no more than 4. So that's what I have here. But yeah, there certainly can be times where we're going to have golfers paired up together in the optimal lineup. Again, I'm just using the numbers that I've seen over the last 2 years, over the last 100 tournaments. It rarely happens. And what I mean by rarely, less than 10%. So yes, I will be picking 2 to 4 golfers from here. My eyes instantly gravitate to group 1. I don't know who I want to start my lineups here with. I really wanted to build Rahm and Xander Schauffele lineups. I could still do that. Maybe I will. If I'm building 100 lineups, I might do it in 1 or 2 of those lineups, but I'm definitely not anchoring around that duo at all. So I really like Rahm. I really like Schauffele for his price. I mean, a lot of people are liking Schauffele this week, and then that kind of leaves out Victor. Victor does have a good track record in the majors as of late. I'm okay, honestly, not playing Victor Hovland this week. I'm fine with that. I would much rather anchor either around Xander or Jon Rahm. Well, then my eyes kind of gravitate to group 2. If I'm building a lineup, I won't lie. I was also like, I kind of think of duos before really sitting down and building lineups. Before seeing the marquee tee times, I could have done a Patrick Cantlay, Jordan Spieth lineup very easily. Like, I kind of like both of them together. But because they're paired up together, I'm not going to play them together. Instead, Patrick Cantlay and Xander Schauffele seem like a really good duo to build lineups around. But then one of my other favorite combos now is Jon Rahm and Jordan Spieth. And I am kind of keeping Tony Finau out. I don't care to play Tony Finau this week. It's not something that I'm going to try to force. It will definitely be one of those lineups that I just throw in one of those winner take alls. Like if Tony Finau does well, that's where he can benefit me, in one of those winner take alls. Otherwise, I don't think I'm going to waste my time anchoring around Tony Finau in anything significant. But then we look at group 3 and you got Scotty, Max, and Colin Morikawa. That's insane. Here's one idea to build lineups around. I really like Scotty. So like, a lot of people do. Scotty and Jordan, that looks pretty sexy. Scotty and Xander, that looks sexy as well. Or how about this? We use Xander at 96. Jordan Spieth at 92. And Max Homa at 94. We start there. You never really hear me talk about 3 9Ks. I kind of advocated against it in the preview video. But those price tags, the fact they're not playing together, I kind of like a lot. Now, I will be excluding Colin Morikawa from my player pool as well. I don't want to play Colin Morikawa. He's been kind of trash as of late. And at $9,300, unless he wins this thing, I'm cool with fading him. Like, even if he finishes second place, I'm cool with fading him. I don't care. I don't want anything to do with Colin Morikawa. I think it would be fine building him in a winner take all, but I'm leaving it there. The next group is also super, I love these first 4 groups. I actually love most of these marquee tee times. So trying to stick within 4 groups and picking golfers from just 4 groups is pretty difficult. And I'll talk more about this here because I do like Rory McIlroy this week, despite him kind of screwing me at the RBC Canadian Open. By the way, if Rory finishes top 3, he wasn't that far off the lead. I think CT Pan was at 14 under, and Rory was at 12 going into Sunday. If Rory just shoots 4 or 5 under, I'm probably winning. I'm profiting $500. $400. I'm profiting $400 last week. But then Rory does what Rory does and kind of sucks on Sunday. That's not even true, right? He just does the opposite of what he should do. If he's in contention, he kind of falls away. If he's not in contention, then he cruises up the leaderboard. It's like, I guess it's when the pressure's on, the guy kind of collapses. But he's in there with Brooks as well as Hideki Matsuyama, and I'm not afraid to play Hideki Matsuyama. I will play Matsuyama this week. So Rory, Brooks, and Matsuyama, all three of those golfers I could play, and I don't know who I'd want to anchor around. Like, I like Brooks. If I was playing Brooks, I mean, all the 9K golfers that we were already talking about, I think that's fine. But as for, like, I don't know. I guess I would rather play Rory or Matsuyama over Brooks this week, despite Brooks being a major killer. Like, that's kind of how I feel. So I don't know what to do with this group. It's a difficult one. The next one, I will stay away from Jason Day, but I really like Ricky Fowler, and I really like Justin Rose. So those will be glue pieces for me. And we're going to talk about the 7K range after the anchor buckets. Create a new segment in these strategy videos, because to me, the 7K range glues the 10K and the 6K range together. I think the most important, I could argue that this is the most important range, is the 7K range. Finding the correct 7K golfers gives you all that access to the 10Ks, the 9Ks, even the 8K golfers to go along with probably the 6K golfer you're going to need in order to take down a GPP. So Rose and Fowler, pretty good 7K considerations this week. The next one is the same. Tom Kim, Seth Theegala, and Cameron Young. I will also be staying away from Tom Kim. What's kind of funny is, like, you know, there was all this steam with Tom Kim, and rightfully so. The guy came into the tour, he won at the Wyndham, which got him his card, and then he, you know, for 3 or 4 months played really good. And I don't know if it was stardom or if it was something that happened to him that, you know, maybe ego got in the way, maybe his head grew, you know, 2 sizes too big. That guy has also been trash. Put him into the Colin Morikawa bucket. They can go ahead and party there, because I certainly don't want Tom Kim in my lineups either. I'm also going to stay away from Cam Young. You know, last week was funny. You heard, like, oh, hey, because he played so bad at the Memorial, or he played so bad at the PGA Championship, you know, this is going to be the week everyone's going to be off of him, and it's going to be the perfect time to play him. Nope, he's still trash. There's something weird with Cam Young, Cam Young. I can't stand the waddle. His waddle when he walks, you know, look. Can't stand that when it comes to him, watching him play, and then he just always has that, like, I don't know, man. I'm being a bit hypercritical, but it's just one of those tilting things that you see when you do roster. I didn't really roster much of him last week, but when you do roster him, those little small things are like, are you kidding me? Could you not be any worse of a golfer? Obviously the guy hits it a mile. Super good, super talented, but yeah, he also came in like a cannon or a wrecking ball, to quote Miley Cyrus. He came in like a wrecking ball, and he and Tom Kim together have just been, and Colin Morikawa, they've been kind of bad. So anyways, out of that group, I like Seth Theegala. The next group I really like too, Patrick Reed, Siwoo Kim, and Matt Kuchar. I'm usually not a pro Patrick Reed guy, but for whatever reason, seeing him in my marquee tee times, and also being at $7,500, it seems like a pretty good golf course considering how wide the fairways are, that he could do well. He could do well at. And Siwoo Kim, one of the most aggressive players, I would say, you know, fairly accurate, but what would get him in trouble would be his driver being a little erratic. You can kind of be a little erratic here. So, like, I also really like Siwoo Kim and Matt Kuchar. I will be talking about the 6K golfers after the 7K golfers in this video. And the 6K golfers, you want a known golfer. So Matt Kuchar being a known golfer, why not? You can consider playing him this week. So that's another good group. So I've already talked about 7 groups, and I've mentioned a lot of golfers in a lot of those groups. But then we got Group 8 and Group 9, which also have names worth considering. Tommy Fleetwood, another good 7K golfer. like I said earlier, probably fading Justin Thomas. Shane Lowry, I faded him at the RBC Canadian Open, thankfully. This week I kind of want to get back to him. I think Byron from Back Nine Bets, Shane Lowry, he's kind of on Shane Lowry this week, and I absolutely like the reasoning that he provided, because I kind of feel the same way. In a birdie fest, like we were kind of forecasting the RBC Canadian Open being, he's not that great. He's not good on birdie fest. But call it the Northern Irishman or whatever you want. He's not Northern Irish. He's Irish. But call him the Irishman, you know, being someone who can grind out pars. This is perfect. This is right up his alley. This is a great test of his talents and his strengths. I think Shane Lowry is a good choice. And then the last group, Adam Scott, Corey Connors, Gary Woodland. Gary Woodland's coming back into form. And then you got two super accurate golfers with Adam Scott and Corey Connors. I honestly think the three of these guys together will help accentuate their own strengths. Accuracy, precision, just methodical golf. And I think this actually helps someone like Gary Woodland. So 9 groups that I spent a lot of time talking about, because each one of these groups has golfers I want to play. The rule again is 2 to 4 golfers from these groups, and don't pair golfers up that are playing together. So you choose 2 to 4 golfer or 2 to 4 groups and 1 golfer each. Or if you want to be risky, go ahead and play golfers that are paired up together. That's fine. I will be very interested to see at the end of the week if 4 or more golfers, I should just say more than 4 golfers are in the optimal lineup from here, because you can certainly do it with Matt Kuchar at $6,900. That's the low price. You could also do it with Gary Woodland, Adam Scott. They're all low 7K golfers, even Patrick Reed. Those four 7K golfers, you could pair up 2 of those guys to go with a 10-9-8-7 start, or a 9-9-8-7, you know, or a 9-8-7 start, or even a 9-9. You know, you could do something like that where it would be 5 or more. So it'll be interesting. I'm still going to stick to my guns. I'm still sticking to my rules. 2 to 4. That's all that I'm choosing. So that wraps up the marquee tee times. Let me check in with chat, because I saw that thing flying while I was going through this. Let's see. We got Shali Carden, Jim, and Barry. We already said hi to you guys. Joanne, welcome. Wierenski. Yeah. I had a good Rainmakers lineup with Wierenski in it, and it didn't really, well, it actually was doing really well because CT Pan was my captain, and then it kind of tanked a little bit. It was one of those booster packs or whatever where you get a rare card. It was a core contest. I fell out of the top 500 because CT Pan couldn't keep the lead. So, and that was one where Wierenski missed the cup. But we already knew that, right? I mean, you go back, you watch the strategy video where you came in talking about Wierenski, and I just instantly shot you down. Me and Shali Carden shot you down. We just weren't going to go to Wierenski. Ian, welcome. Nice to see you again. Jim Lemoyne goes, Eric, I built the lineup using your SS score and my optimizer. Reed made the lineup. Yeah. Adam Scott's in your core. So, dude, I think Adam Scott's in my core too. Let's see here. Shali Carden getting sucked in by the players interviewed last couple days. I'm actually thinking of playing Morikawa and JT. Good luck, pal. Scott's a free square. Not anymore. Now the fantasy gods don't like the what's the word that I'm looking for? Oh man. Sometimes words just don't come to the head. The definitive comment you just made there. They won't like that. Let's see here. Thigala's my guy this week, says Barry. Sure. Joshua Maz. I really like Koepka. He looks hungry. Joshua, I have a feeling you haven't watched the preview video yet. I imagine you haven't, because you probably would have reached out to me in one way or the other. Just a little hint. Jim goes, could be 4-7K type a week. It could be. I would say this though. When I reviewed the past optimal and GPP winning lineups, and we went over the last, 5-6 years, only 1 year did we have more than 2 7K golfers inside the top 10. Only 1 year. It's not a very 7K friendly type of tournament, but I would argue the 7K range in this tournament probably stronger than past tournaments. That is something, once I get a website up and running, oh man, I want to look at every single week. Just look at the strength of field points that go towards the 7K range. Because obviously I have that in the optimizer, or not the optimizer, but in the bucket system. You know, obviously this is available to you guys on the cheat sheet. You know, go down in the salaries and we look at the 7K range. We have 299 points going towards the strength of field. That's 35% of the strength of field points. I would like to see where that matches up with other tournaments, especially other US Opens, to see why we didn't see more 7K golfers inside the top 10 for those events. It'd be really good to try to research something like that. But hey, 3 7Ks, like what Barry says, yeah, I absolutely agree. Charlie Harden says, Tom Kim won at Shriners when I was there. Cantley choked on 18. That's right. Yeah, but it was like that 4-month stretch because Shriners was what, in October? Can't remember which. That was October. And then you had what, Wyndham in August, I think. So there's 2 months. In that 2-month span, he was playing really good golf. Oh, Josh does know he won. All right. I figured I would have got something from you. Cool. Do you want me to put that $5 towards something else then? Let's see here. So Barry goes, yeah, I could see 3 7Ks this week. Definitely need a 6K to take down a GPP this week, I feel. I do too. There's enough good 6K golfers that are like $6,800, or I think there's one that's like 65 or 66, and then there's about 4 or 5 that I like 6,800 and above. There we go with the jokes already come in with MFN. I'll be in the minority on this one, but if I'm taking the top studs, I think I might need to fade the 8K this week. I don't see anyone below 7,600 that I like. You know what? Who did I can't remember if I like anyone in the 8K range that much. Hatton, Finau, Thomas. So I like Matsuyama. I don't mind Lowry. I'm probably fading him. I'm probably fading Dustin. Oh, I thought this was a Bermuda course. I was almost all in on Burnsy. By the way, Charlotte Carden, I need you, sir, to remind me that Burns sucks on anything that's not Bermuda. You need to remind me every single week, because he was the combo I went with. It was him and Rose last week. Now, or a little bit of Fleetwood. I had some Fleetwood in there, but it was mostly Burns and Rose. And then I'm watching the broadcast, and he's not making any putts. And the announcers go, yeah, it's crazy. Like, Burns is a good, like, 2 strokes better on Bermuda than he is on any other surface. I'm like, oh, that's right. Burns sucks on anything that isn't Bermuda or overseeded Bermuda. So it's like, man, had I known that, I would have probably changed my tune. I mean, I knew that, but I forgot it. You know, I was just all enthralled with hey, this is a great combo. They look good together. I want these guys in my lineups together. Ooh, Josh, I'll go with that. We can do a 5 or a 3 and 3. You want Cam Young, Schauffele, and Rogers in it? Okay, that's cool. Let's just to remind myself. So you want Cam Young, Xander, which, hey man, I'm loving that. Xander, Cam Young, and Patrick Rogers, I imagine, right? Rogers is one of those 6K golfers that I do like. So okay, you chose the 6K golfer, that's wonderful. So we'll do something like this, and then there we go. Just need 3 spots to fill in. We'll do that. We'll build a lineup this way. Let's see here. Bermuda Burns, baby. Hey, I love the alliteration. Anytime you can do alliteration, you get bonus points for me. And then Josh goes, I know I won the drawing, all good, and we're gonna put $5 into the drive the green. He's got three golfers. I'm gonna choose the other 3 a little bit later here. I know Cumyum's been awful, but I have this weird feeling. All right, man. Hey, that's wonderful, because I probably wouldn't put Cam Young. And you know what? This is the one time that I'm okay playing Cam Young, so maybe I don't have to put him in any of my other lineups. This will be just fine. Okay, wonderful. Love that. And then Charlotte. Yep, I agree. He'll probably be low owned. All right, so we went over the marquee tee times. Let's go ahead and jump into the anchor buckets. So if you're following along with me, all you got to do is go to the filter. Put that filter in. Oh, by the way, yesterday in my preview video, I was going over the bucket system, and holy crap, did a pain just out of nowhere, just boom, hit my temple. I think I suffer from cluster headaches. I don't know if anyone else has had those, but I've had them at really weird times. Like I'll fall asleep, and like 1 hour, 2 hours into sleeping, boom, I wake up with a terrible, it feels like a migraine, but it's like one of the worst stabbing pains. Started getting it while I was streaming. I got it like maybe 30 minutes into it, but I was like trying to like get through it. But I've got these lights, like you can probably see them on my glasses. Just these bright lights that are coming down at me, and I've got 4 monitors right in front of me. So the light intensity that hits me pretty high. So that's a trigger for those cluster headaches. Oh man, I hope I don't get them. I hope I don't get them while I'm going through this, but that was a pain in the butt. I literally hit stop record, and I just basically ran upstairs, took some migraine pills, and just like wrestled with it. And then I didn't get to post my video. I finished that video at like 9 p.m. I didn't get to post it until like 11:30, 12. I scheduled it for midnight because I want the quality to kind of, you know, process a little bit before it gets sent to you. Otherwise, when you first get it, it's like super grainy and blurry or whatever. So anyways, that's my little pity party there, just to let you guys know. I'm feeling okay. I took an ibuprofen before jumping on, so I think we're in the clear. We're in the clear. Anyways, anchor buckets. We're here. If you want to follow along on the cheat sheet, just go to the bucket system. Go ahead, slap that filter on there that says bucket system. That's what I have done. And to find the anchor buckets, truly all you need to do is go to max projection, filter by condition, and we're going to go greater than or equal to 2. Greater than or equal to 2. These are technically all of your anchor buckets right here. So if you truly would just want to look at the anchor buckets for what they are, this is the way. While I go through the video, what I like to do is actually filter down by how many are in the buckets this year. So I'll go into this filter here, and you could do it several different ways. You could clear everything out and just select the low numbers until you get to a high enough number that you're kind of uncomfortable with, or maybe just comfortable doing. Me, it's 30 and below. So you can just go ahead and select, you know, the numbers that you see 30 and below, or you could go filter by condition and go less than or equal to 30. You can do it both ways, but this is probably the easiest way. So these are the anchor buckets when it comes to this video, the strategy video. We have last year ones, which are golfers who top 20'd the US Open last year. Tournament history 2s. These are golfers that have pretty decent tournament history. They have an average finishing position between 20th and 40th place. Doesn't matter if they've only played this one time or if they played it 7, 8, or even 9 times. They would fall under this bucket. Then we've got recent form 1. My recent form goes back the last 7 weeks, and we look at average finishing positions. The recent form 1 bucket are average finishing positions between 1st and 20th place. Recent form 2 is 20th to 40th place. Then we have our salaries, which we won't go over. This, we're not going to talk about the golfers in the 9K range, but that would be another anchor bucket. And then we've got strokes gained bucket 1 golfers and strokes gained bucket 2. Now, that's a little bit more nuanced, but strokes gained 1 is every single strokes gained stat for the last year. Now, I'm using Data Golf strokes gained stats. For the last year, if they're all positive, off the tee, approach, around the green, and putting, they fall in this bucket. Strokes gained 2 is just positive off the tee and positive putting. it could have a negative approach, or the golfer in this bucket could have a negative approach stat or a negative around the green, or even both of those stats could be negative. But as long as they have positive off the tee and positive putting, they fall in this bucket. If you're wondering why I did it this way, as you can tell when I go through the buckets, there are 6 buckets per stat category. It was just the easiest way to do strokes gain. I could, reform this or do anything just a slightly different, but I actually really like this. I'm an off the tee type of guy. I think off the tee dictates every other stat that goes in, that follows it. So off the tee is going to dictate approach. And there's going to be a video in the horizon talking about strokes gain stats and how most of you guys are probably doing it wrong. I think off the tee is the most important stat. And then approach. Because if you're Bryson DeChambeau and you're gaining 13 strokes off the tee, you have no window to gain strokes gain on approach. And you're also hitting it inside on approach numbers inside everyone else. Why would you want to be penalized by that? And if you're looking at home on approach stats and you go, well, I'm not going to play Bryson DeChambeau, he's not good at irons. Well, he's sticking everything to 12 feet and having 12-foot birdie putts. Is that what you're trying to ignore? Because if you don't know how strokes gain stats are calculated, you're getting the raw end of the deal if you don't consider off the tee more important, or at least we can make that argument. If someone wants to come in and be like, no, I think approach is more important, that's fine. But Justin Thomas is going to always have good approach stats because he's hitting out of the rough most of the time. And rough penalizes off the tee, does not penalize approach. It actually boosts approach. And he hits it to about 25, 27 feet. But his approach stats are going to look better than Bryson's stats, when Bryson was, a Hulk. But anyways, I digress. We don't need to continue with that. That's why I use off the tee as opposed to approach. Hopefully that makes sense. You want to know what the strokes gain stats are for 72-foot eagle putt? Hey, Ryan, remind me after I do the anchor buckets. And by the way, welcome. And if anyone doesn't know in the chat, this guy here took down the Pat Mayo Experience contest last week at the RBC Canadian Open. He had a CT Pan in that lineup. I don't know if you were on CT Pan before I tried to pump you up and play CT Pan, but I'd like some credit here, okay? I want some credit for your CT Pan pick. You gonna do it? Are you gonna provide me credit? You gonna do it? You gonna do it? I'm just kidding, man. Let's go ahead and talk about these anchor buckets. So we got last year bucket 1 to 20. Now it says 2 to 4 golfers you want to select, but remember, I always check this column over here. You don't get this on the cheat sheet, but what I like to do is kind of use the sweet spot scores to try to figure out, do we need to water this down or do we need to pump it up? And it looks like it needs to be watered down a little bit. So 2.86 would be the new max projection, but that obviously we round up to the full number, so that'd be 3. Which means the minimum, if we were just using this number, would be 1. Well, we already have a projection over here. So what I like to do is actually take this number for my actual max projection. We round up to 4, and we use the new minimum number based off of this column here. So truly, this is a 1 to 4 bucket, and you can actually see this on the optimizer, 1 to 4 for last year ones. So when we look at the last year 1 bucket, there are going to be a lot of good golfers in here. Remember, these are top 20s from last year's US Open, so you're going to have the cream of the crop. You get Scotty Scheffler, Jon Rahm, Patrick Cantlay, Rory McIlroy, Xander Schauffele, and then that's where I'll cut it off because I don't care to talk about Collin Morikawa in that light with those golfers, but you have those 5. Are we going to make the argument that neither of these 5 finish inside the top 10? We probably aren't, right? It's definitely, we could take this versus the field and finishing inside the top 10. We probably get negative odds for it, right? One of these golfers will finish inside the top 10, if not 2. So when I give you that projection that I'm saying 1 to 4 will finish inside the top 10, that's a projection for this bucket for the golfers that are in it. How many of them will finish inside the top 10? I think 1 to 4, which is kind of a big number. We could say 2 to 4 because we see the golfers that are up here pretty easy. So if you want to anchor around one of these guys, I think that's fine. Anchoring around 2 of these guys might be extremely difficult. Now, I already mentioned in my marquee tee times that I like Patrick Cantlay and Xander Schauffele paired up together. You probably can't put, you know, a Scheffler Rahm lineup together and it be super competitive. But if you wanted to try, by all means do so. Same goes like with Rahm and Cantlay or Scotty and Cantlay or any of these 11K golfers to go with these 9K golfers. I think that's possible. And so you have your 2. You know, again, the projection's 1 to 4. You got your 2. But you also have all these golfers down here. Like, I'm probably ignoring Nick Hardy. I'll ignore Sebastian Munoz. I'll also ignore Joel Damon. I do like Hayden Buckley this week. I also like Adam Hadwin, the guy that was tackled at the RBC Canadian. I don't think there's any injury that happened from him, but holy crap, that was funny. I also really like Denny McCarthy once again this week. Gary Woodland, we already talked about being in a marquee tee time. That's fine. I saw Seamus Power show up inside the top 10 of either last. Oh, was it last year? Was he inside the top 10 last year? Yes. Oh no, he was 12th. Maybe that's what I saw. 12th. That kind of came out of nowhere. But I really like Scott. I also don't mind like Keegan Bradley. So if you wanted to anchor around 2 to 4 of these guys, I think that's super comfortable in doing. Especially with the 7Ks and the 6K golfers there, I could see easily anchoring around 2 or 3 of these guys. So that's what we have for the last week 1 bucket. We'll go to the next one is tournament history 2. So let's go ahead and put those filters on. Just remember, come back into the last year bucket, select all, then go to course history, which is really tournament history. My apologies. Course history 2. And look at that. We've got Rahm and Cantlay as well as McIlroy in the same buckets we were just talking about. Now, sure, we have Colin Morikawa there, Matt Fitzpatrick, but we weren't really mentioning those golfers. I don't mind them, if I'm being honest. It's fine. Did I say the projection already? 1 to 3. 1 to 3 golfers from here. So if you already picked like Cantlay or Rahm from the last bucket, you really don't have to pick anyone else from this bucket. But, you know, there are golf like Adam Scott is here, we already talked about, and Hideki. You know, if you wanted to do a 10-9-8, you could go like Cantlay. We could go Xander from the last bucket, Matsuyama here, and Scott. We hit the max projection for this bucket, and we hit the max projection for the last bucket, and, you know, we're good. That's how it works. But yeah, there's still some good golfers here. 1 to 3. Remember, the projection's 1 to 3. So I can see it pretty easy here. Going to the next bucket. Recent form 1s. 1 to 3 is the projection here. That pretty much stays the same all the way around. One caveat here. $8,900 is the average salary in this bucket. So when we go to it, it might be impossible to select more than 1 golfer from this bucket. We'll see what we can do, but getting 2 or 3 might be even harder. The last bucket we really didn't need to talk about, and 8,300 is about average on DraftKings. If this number was 8,333.33 repeating, this would not be highlighted red. But because it is highlighted red, it's kind of giving us the warning like, hey, a lot of expensive golfers in this bucket. Be careful. This one is one of the highest. It actually is the highest outside the 9K bucket, but yeah, that's because the 9K bucket only has 9K golfers in it, so the average salary is going to be, you know, pretty high. Anyways, recent form 1s. Remember, when you come in here, select everyone from the course history buckets we were just talking about, and we get into recent form 1. Was that right? Recent form 1? No, recent form. Yeah. Recent form 1. Not a lot of golfers here, and it is very expensive, but to help relieve some of that pricing, we have Adam Scott. We already talked about him. We already talked about Patrick Reed. Hey, look at that. Justin Rose shows up. That's a golfer we like, right? We did talk about Scotty Scheffler in the last year bucket, but we did not in the course history bucket we were just talking about. Same applies for Brooks. We did not talk about him in either of the other 2 buckets, but we did Patrick Cantlay. Cantlay is in the 3 anchor buckets we were just talking about. So too is Rory McIlroy. Xander was not, but now Xander's been in 2 of the buckets we've talked about. So, hey, could go, like I said, I already mentioned these guys already. And this fits the projections. Cantlay, Schauffele, Adam Scott. You know, what was our AK golfer in that last bucket that we were just talking about? Short-term memory here. I have issues remembering stuff short-term, but we had our AK golfer there as well. Think, right? Okay, I have to look. It's bothering me. Who did we select? Did we select an 8K golfer? Maybe we didn't. Because it was what? Cantlay. Oh, I did 2 7K golfers, right? Adam Scott. And a 6K? I don't remember. All right. Short-term memory. Can't remember. Anyways. So again, this projection's 1 to 3. So I think it's easy to get to 1 to 3. Especially if you wanted to go Cantlay, Schauffele, and Adam Scott. Or maybe now we do Justin Rose. Or maybe we don't do any of those and we just go Cantlay, Scott. But you could also do Rory as well. Rory with Schauffele would work just as fine. So that's recent form bucket 1. We're going to go into recent form bucket 2, which is that 20 to 40 range. This is actually just a natural 1 to 4. It's 1.99. We always round down with this bucket here. Always round down, 1.99. So it's 1 to 4 for recent form 2. This bucket, we don't really have to worry about the salaries in it. It's not really going to hamstring us. So while we're in here, just deselect 1 and select 2. And John Rahm's our top guy, followed by Homa and Fitzpatrick. Now Fitzpatrick, he's been in the 3 buckets we've talked about already. Course history 2, recent form 2, and last year 1. So same 2 with Rahm. So I mean, if you wanted to start with any of those guys, just like we were talking about McIlroy and Patrick Cantlay in the last bucket, or the recent form 1 bucket we were just talking about, they've been in all 3. So too was Hideki Matsuyama. So they're all in anchor buckets we absolutely love. So I think, I mean, there are, it seems like a bunch of options, but I think there are a limited amount of combinations you can build if you were going to anchor around some of these guys. To me, that's music to my ears. I do not want to have, you know, an unlimited amount of combinations to make. I don't want a ton of combinations to make sense to me. I want a limited amount of combinations to make sense to me and ignore the rest. So I love when it is limited, like what we're kind of already seeing. But this, again, this projection's 1 to 4. There are enough 7K golfers down here to consider. So we'll see what it looks like when we get there. But yeah, choosing 1 to 4 out of this bucket seems pretty simple, pretty easy. I mean, if you want to go up to 4, you got all the golfers to do that. If not, that's fine. The next bucket we would talk about would be salary 2s, but we don't have to. We can go into strokes gained 2 as well as strokes gained 1 golfers. And actually, strokes gained 2, it actually, okay, never mind. It is an anchor bucket. No, it is not. It is not. Strokes gained 2 is not an anchor bucket. I'm sorry. The reason it's not an anchor bucket is because this projection over here is 1.95. This would be a max projection, the new max projection. Because it's not over 2, that means the minimum automatically goes to 0. So this would read 0 to 3. I do believe I have that built into the optimizer already. Strokes gained 2, 0 to 3. There we go. So we're just talking about strokes gained 1 golfers. Now, you don't have to put any filters on this. Remember, go into the recent form buckets, select all. You could actually sort A to Z when it comes to strokes gained, because everything color-coded is by strokes gained buckets. So the projection here is 2 to 5. It's large. Nearly 50% of the strength of field points go towards this bucket. Now, pretty expensive, has the same amount of 9K golfers that we have in the other 2 buckets that were expensive. So it might be difficult to play more than 2 golfers. But again, it's 2 to 4. So let's say, did you like Cantlay? Did you like Schauffele? You know, those 2 guys you could pair up together pretty easy. That meets the projection. But maybe you want to include Tommy Fleetwood or even Wyndham Clark or perhaps Adam Hadwin, like we were just already talking about. Now I've just selected 5 guys. This is also within the projection. So it's really how you want to construct your lineups. Like the top 4 guys we have talked about in every anchor bucket. Except for Xander, right? Was Xander in the... Yeah, Xander was not, because Xander's in the course history 1 bucket, the tournament history 1 bucket. But the top 3 were in every anchor bucket that we've talked about so far. So I think choosing from this bucket or choosing from these golfers might be beneficial, might be easy. Maybe that's what we should just do just to start with. But anyways, lots of good golfers here. That covers the anchor buckets. So hopefully you guys have a pretty good idea who you want to start your lineups with. Before we start building lineups, let me actually tackle the chat here like the security guard did to Adam Hadwin. Ryan comes in and says, "What's up, Eric? Oh yeah, you want to see the 72-foot eagle putt? 72 feet. 72 feet. Get my calculator out. Go to my chart. So I don't have 72 feet. It looks like I have 60 to 90. And this is because I copied it over from the Mark Brody book, his book, where it has strokes gain stats in here. 2.2 to 2.4. So it lies somewhere in there. So really, he didn't gain that much when it came to that putt. If I were to do this, let's do hole. We can hole out from here. Say it was par 5, 480 yards. Hit his tee shot. What do you have? 240 in fairway. Hit it to 72 feet, but let's just call it 60. 60's easy, or 60's easy enough. Green. So believe it or not, he only gained 1.21 strokes on that putt. That's pretty crazy, right? That doesn't seem right, but most people are two putting from there. So like if you were to two putt, say you got this to 10 feet to the green and you hold out from there. Yeah, so he's gaining 0.21. So they're saying you're going to two putt from that distance more often than not, so you're not gaining a lot of strokes when it comes to putting. That's why a lot of the strokes gain stats are kind of flawed and why you shouldn't put a lot of stock into them. But I understand why people do. It's the best stats that we have currently. Minus the bucket system. To me, the bucket system's the best thing. But I'm biased, of course. So yeah, congratulations, Ryan. Hardin Taylor loses. I go from 3K to maybe 1K. I was following you and Nick. Nick didn't want to tell me where he was in his contest because of superstition. I mean, we're all gamblers here. We're all superstitious. I was like, you have to be making a lot of money. Once Fleetwood and Nick Taylor went into that playoff, he goes, yes, it's a lot. But he had showed me he was in first place after Saturday's round. And of course, you know, you had told me that you were high up on the PME as well as the Drive the Green. I really didn't see Drive the Green, but we also had another person here, or another person that watches these videos that was at the top of the Drive the Green. And I can't think of it off the top of my head, but I'd have to go check out maybe you're in the chat. Let us know. But and what ended up happening, why you kind of fell from grace. Anyways, a lot of people, if Gabriel was here, Gabe Brown, he usually likes to call us the Sweet Spot sickos. How do you feel about the Sweet Spot Society? Is that a little too bone collector-esque, you know, when it comes to like or what was that society? I can't remember what it was. But anyways, I like the alliteration. It makes sense. Like Sweet Spot Nation, like that doesn't, you know, a lot of people are nation, whatever nation. Sweet Spot Squad, I guess, would work. But anyways, a lot of people that follow the Sweet Spot brand were doing really well last week. So, and Nick, there you are. Nick took down a healthy amount of money. Culty, thank you. Yeah, it does sound a little culty, doesn't it? Cultish. Good. I mean, that's what we're going for, right? Dead Poets, thank you, Jim. Thank you. Yes. Yes. That is, and Josh was shortly after. Yes, it does sound a little like that. But I don't know, you gotta be unique somehow, right? Cultish. Little culty there, pal. Little culty. Anyways, let's see here. SweetSpot community. Yeah, we could do that. That's what Shot Like Harden says up there. Killed it last week. Sounds like. Yeah. Okay, I should have been reading these comments after. Shot Like Harden says, Taylor doing it screwed me. I had Fleetwood, Pan, Hubbard, Hadwin, Wu, Rose. That's pretty good. I was second. There. Yeah. Okay, Shot Like Harden was the guy who was up at the top. Ryan Taylor hurt me, but still happy for Nick. Yeah. I am too, man. That was the coolest thing. And Ryan goes, I finished 35th in the drive the green with that line. If I had Fleetwood instead of Fitz. So Ryan, I saw you like tweeting that. You can't do that, man. You can't do that. You can't say what the, woulda, coulda, shoulda. You just got to be happy with what you got. Because now the karma gods are going to come after you and be like, you're not happy with what we gave you? Well, now we're going to give you a whole year of misery. So you just got to be happy with what you got. Joanne says got fourth in the contest. That's right. Joanne did really, yeah, dude. Like the whole SweetSpot community did super well last week. And if it wasn't for Rory kind of blowing up, I went Burns and Rose in a lot of my in my 50 cent because that's where I did all my combos there. In my winner take alls, it was like Rory Sahith or it was Rory whatever. But then I had CT Pan in every single one of them. And then I also had like Justin Lauer. Justin Lauer after round 3 or even after round 2. Round 2, literally I was winning all of the little 25 cent $50 winner take alls. I was winning all of the ones that start with Rory. Because they all had CT Pan in them. And then if those guys would have just done well, those 3, and if CT Pan would have won, I bet you I would have taken down a ton of money as well. So yeah, it was great. I think it was all CT Pan. Like CT Pan helped all of us out in this community. Let's see here. Huge congrats to Ryan. Charlie Carnan says sweat was fun for him. Oh yeah, no, sweat was fun for me too, man. I was golfing. I golfed 27 holes on Sunday. And I just had to golf because I was, if I didn't, I'd have been at home just biting my nails, just like hoping Nick was doing well, hoping Ryan was doing well. It was fun. It was the longest putt. Dude, I was so afraid he wasn't going to 2-putt from there. Jeff goes, lots of balance lineups coming this week. Yeah, and rightfully so. When I reviewed the pass optimal and did you get audio back? I think I see audio on my end, but I think there might have been a little blip. Let me know though. There's a 10-second delay between us. Can someone verify you have audio with me? Anyways, I'll keep talking. Hopefully I do have audio. But yeah, I was afraid he wasn't even going to 2-putt from there. It was amazing. Best putt I've ever seen. Let's see here. Back 9 bets coming in. How's it going, Byron? My brother. Stand on your desk and yell. Now you're gonna make me pull up my own pod. Okay. Good. Thank you. You son of a bitch. Let's see here. Don't put that evil on him. Hey, I'm not putting that evil on him. Listen. Okay, hold on. Karma gods, you're not supposed to know exist, but you know they exist. And you're also not supposed to call on them like you know what they're going to do. But everyone knows what the karma gods will do. You can't speak anything ill will of the karma gods. That's rule number 1. And then number 2, you can't even think you know the karma gods and what they'll do. They'll spite you. You just have to understand you know what they do and you can't admit it out loud because they'll hear it and then they will slap you across the face pretty quickly. Let's see here. Nick, how many GPPs did you win? Isn't that number 2 for Mr. Nikolai? What's up, SLH, my brother? CT Pandemonium. I love it. Okay, we're all caught up. Cool. All right, guys. So to me, one of the more important things in lineup building every single week is trying to figure out the 7K golfers and the 6K golfers. So I've done this before. I kind of do a deep dive on the 7K range. I kind of do a deep dive on the 6K range. I have all of my year-to-year recent form tabs down here. You guys can't see it on your end because I have my bar right here in the way. But what I've done is I'm only looking at the $7,000 to $7,900 range, so the 7K range, and it is sorted top to bottom. I've done this with every single year, and I want you with me to note some of the things that we see year to year. I'm going to point out with the things that I see. What's going on, Joey? Nice to see you here. Here's what I've noticed. I usually like to look first at the salary, if that even matters. Normally it doesn't matter, but I just want to see, do we see the same salary showing up? You know, do we want a low 7K, mid 7K, top, you know, just to see if there's anything we can get from that information. I'll tell you right now, I don't see that, but as I go through each year, you let me know. So yeah, you can't even see this is 2022, the 7K range in 2022. Keegan Bradley is your top guy. He was in the optimal lineup. So I look at this column here, course history. I look at last year. I look at recent form, and I look at last week. So the week before. So we can see like Bradley did not play the year before at the US Open, and he did not play the week before. So literally he's a 6-6 when it comes to last week. I'm not going to bore you with that. I've already done my analysis. What I have noted is you see this 20 to 40 recent form average, and you also see this 60 to 80 recent form average inside. Basically, it's going to be your top 3 7K golfers in almost every single one we look at. So that's kind of what I'm probably going to be looking at this week. So here's 2022, 2021. You got it here. You have it here. Now, we also have a really good recent form here, and we have that 40 to 60 range here. So that's 2 years also that we've seen that 40 to 60 range. So we could just use these 3, I guess. So that's 2022, 2021. Now we also introduce, you know, a 1 to 20 recent form. So hopefully you're following along with me. 2020, we have that 20 to 40 range once again. We also now have the top 20s. Yes, we still have that 40 to 60. So now we drop the 60 to 80 range, and it's basically these 3. But what keeps showing up is right here, that 20 to 40 range. So the last 3 years, that 20 to 40 range, they're yellows. This would be indicated as a recent form 2 bucket. Recent form 2 bucket, okay? That's what 20 to 40 is. And I believe it's our anchor, one of our anchor buckets right here, recent form 2, 20 to 40. So when it comes to the 7K range, that's all I'm seeing so far. So we also see that. We also see, you know, good recent form. This was 2020, by the way, where they came back from COVID, you know, fairly late into the season. This ended up becoming this super season. You had the PGA Championship right here. This was the US Open that Bryson won. 2019, there you have it again. Henrik Stenson at 20 to 40 range. Now we also include 60 to 80, and then we also have a top 20, and then we have that 40 to 60 range. But you just see one of those, one of each up there. 2018, you have that 20 to 40 range. And then we have a bunch of 60 to 80 ranges. And I suppose we do have 140 to 60 that was in the sweet spot optimal. So it looks like 20 to 40 and 40 to 60 in the 7K range is where you want to be. And then you can mix in the 60 to 80s, and you can mix in the top 20s. Like there's our 60 to 80, but again, that 20 to 40 range. And to be more specific, it's been 26 to 33, I believe, right? I guess 36. Maybe it's, yeah, 26 to 36, right in that range. And then we don't have salaries in 2016. So this is my way of trying to get really narrow with my analysis, really narrow, try to nitpick. What do we see more often than not? And it looks like recent form might be, you know, some of the most important stats to look at. One other way I can do this is I can sort all my recent forms from top to bottom and just look at like the first 5 golfers and see how many top 10 finishes we have. If not, you know, how many optimal lineups. So really our top fives would be right here. That's 5 golfers there. So we have 1, Keegan Bradley being the 1. 2021, we go top to bottom. We really don't have 1, but we do have 1 in the GPP winning lineup. And Harris English is what? Number 8 on the list. So you see some missed cuts are in there as well. I like to just look, there you go, your best recent form basically outside of Kevin Kisner. You had 3 golfers here in the optimal lineup. Our best recent form here, Stenson down here, he was what, 7th on the list, and he was in the Sweet Spot Optimal. That still is good enough to me, by the way. 2018, run by recent form once again here. Ooh, this is a little worse. So we got to go down to what, 11? So this is why I kind of like to look at these ranges, like the 20 to 40 range. Find 1 or 2 golfers you like, maybe play around them. Oh, Fleetwood's way down here. But, I mean, who do we have up here? Hoffman, I guess. He was, what, 9th on the list of recent form. Still decent and still in that 20 to 60 range. So, I kind of was highlighting all the golfers that I saw. When we look at that, let's say 26 to 36 range, you've got Tommy Fleetwood, Corey Connors, Keegan Bradley, Ricky Fowler, Wyndham Clark, Siwoo Kim, Denny McCarthy. We don't use Harris English because he's 38. We don't use Ryan Fox because he's 24. So we skip those guys. We skip Russell Henley. We take Sepp Straka, Eric Cole. Skip Norman Vincent, and then we go Austin Eckroat and Emiliano Grillo. So let's see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 golfers. No. 8, 9, 10, 11 golfers. So that's a lot. It's a lot of golfers to kind of consider. But when you look at all the names, I just don't see how, why would we want to stay away from them? Now, the other thing to look at too would be that 40 to 60 range. I'm not going to play Tom Kim. That's 140 to 60. Sahith Theegala, by the way, 40 to 60. There's one. Taylor, even with the win, not very good recent form. He's in that range. So too is Seamus Power. Cam Davis, I like. Gary Woodland, I like. I also don't mind Tom Hoagie. He's also in those ranges. Justin Suh, KH Lee, probably not going to fill. Luke List is here, and so too is Minwoo Lee. Now, just to note something, of all the golfers that I've already covered, so that first wave we did, that 20, like 26 to 36 in recent format average, call that group 1. You only pick 1 golfer from that group. This would be group 2. You only pick 1 golfer from this group, and you build around. And you can combine those 2. I think that's fine. So that's kind of how I would look at it. And then we also have that 60 to 80 range. Remember kind of going over some of those years where 60 to 80 was in there? There are some interesting golfers here. Chris Kirk, kind of on a downward spiral. Still pretty good golfer. $7,100, that seems pretty decent. Aaron Wise coming back from his, what do we want to call it? His mental injuries. His absence from golf because of mental health. That's an interesting play as well. So too is Keith Mitchell. Like, didn't a lot of people like Keith last week, and didn't they like him at the Memorial? Are people going to forget about him? Maybe this is a good week to go back to him. Montgomery, Noren, and Taylor. So Taylor Moore and Taylor Montgomery I could get to. I really don't want to play Taylor Montgomery because I hate his golf swing. But yeah, I do like both of the Taylors this week. So very intriguing. Again, this would be group 3. So you'd only really want to pick 1 of those guys. You wouldn't want to pair up 2 of those guys together, or 3. Same goes with the last group that I talked about and the group before that. Inside each of their groups, don't play more than 2 at most. But you can pair them all together. So you could have that 20 to 40, which would be, again, recent form bucket 2. You could have that 40 to 60, which would be recent form bucket 3. And then that 60 to 80 would be recent form bucket 4. And you could actually write that all into the optimizer. I already have the optimizer selecting at least one guy from recent form bucket 1, one guy from recent form bucket 3, leaving it open for recent form bucket 4. Probably not going to choose golfers from that one. And this is your 60 to 80 range, 40 to 60 range, 20 to 40, and 1 to 20. So that's the 7K range. Now, remember, we saw a lot of these guys right here. The really good recent form inside the top 10. But also, with some of these good recent form, like, say, Mito and Sungjae from 2022. Remember, we all thought Sungjae was a misprice last year? Had super good recent form, missed the cut. Davis Riley, on the other hand, finished 31st. Not terrible. So, good recent form last year didn't really result in anything good. We go to the year before that, 2021. You actually had Paul Casey in the GPP winning lineup. He had a really good recent form, but you also had Abe Answer with a missed cut with good recent form. In 2020, I would imagine it was a bit different because, again, they're coming back from COVID, but you still had Kevin Kisner with a missed cut up there. But the other 3 golfers finished inside the top 20, 2 of them being in the optimal lineup. So that was a good year to go with really good recent form. In 2019, we just had one top 12 place, and that was Matt Wallace. So this wasn't a super good year. Like 16th place from Webb Simpson isn't terrible, but it also isn't super good. Go to 2018. We also had our missed cut, but I mean, you had like Chesson Hadley in there. I don't even know what to make of that. You know, Ian Poulter, Jimmy Walker, so not super good. And again, we're looking at the names, right? So you had Bernd Wiesberger, Louis Oosthuizen, Francesco Molinari, Bud Cauley in 2017. That's not so so much Bud Cauley, but these 3 golfers weren't terrible golfers by any means. Bernd was a European golfer then and now. Wasn't really playing a lot on the PGA Tour, but Louis Oosthuizen was. So too was Francesco Molinari. They didn't really play all that well. So when it comes to this really good recent form, you know, it's a bit more challenging because you've got Mito, who's a live golfer, Bryson, who's a live golfer, and Patrick Reed, who's a live golfer. Their recent form only comes from the PGA Championship. So I really don't know what to make of that. But I'll say this, I only want to play at least one of those guys. You know, and this is kind of how I'm helping you guys with lineup ideas. I'm trying, just because this is what the bucket system helps me accomplish. It helps me stay away from building too many lineups with these guys in it. Like, imagine without seeing any of this information, without me going through it, you're like, you know what? I like Justin Rose this week. I also heard on one podcast, Victor Perez was good. And oh, by the way, Eric was talking about how good Adam Scott is. So there's my 3 7K golfers right there. It's like, no, that's probably not a good choice. Maybe we don't play those 3 guys together because I just haven't seen it. Now, those 3 names, really these, 6 names? You don't see that in the previous years. You know, sure, Sungjae and Mito, I would imagine, because Mito had that really good PGA Championship. And like, look at how many top 20s he had coming into this event. So I guess Mito 78 would have been a top name, and so too would Sungjae M. Davis Riley, maybe not so much, although his top 20 finishes coming into the event was really good as well. So maybe not. So that was a year of good golfers up there. We only had 2, Paul Casey and Abe Answer. That was a good year of those types of golfers. 2020, Harris English, Louis Oosthuizen. Yeah, I'd give those guys good name value. And probably Alex Noren as well. And actually Kevin Kisner, of course. He was still good in 2020. 2019, you got Webb, Horschel, Snedeker, Sabatini. See, now we would never, when we combine that, even if we pretend we're in 2019, those names don't hold a candle to the 6 names we just talked about. These 3 names certainly do not, even in 2018. And 2017, maybe Louis and maybe Francesco would hold a name, you know, a candle to the names we were just talking about. So is there a possibility two of these guys could finish inside the top 10? Sure. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I like Patrick Reed. I like Adam Scott. I like Justin Rose. I don't know, you know, and then Bryson, by the way, finished 4th at the PGA Championship. Who's to say he can't finish 4th here at the US Open? He already has one US Open win. I still think, though, I would never play more than two of these guys, but I'm probably sticking just to one. Like, and how I look at it, like I was talking about, so like I like Adam Scott. So I'd pick one of these guys. And then I would probably pick one of these guys. And one of these guys. And if, say, you didn't like one of these groups, I mean, I think you definitely pick from this group right here. You definitely pick from this group at least one of them. You make the choice whether or not you want to grab golfers from this group or even this group, like maybe not. And if you choose not to pick golfers from that group or this group, then I think that's when you look into this group and you might select one there. So when it comes to the 3 7Ks, yeah, I think that's a possibility. Definitely think that's a possibility. So that's how I feel when it comes to the 7K range, or I should so much say think, because I'm more or less putting my analysis into this and not so much my feelings. But let me remove the filters and let's talk about the 6K range. So if I scroll down to the 6K range, because this is also where we're going to have to make some decisions when it comes to the 6K golfers. If I open up each one of these ranges, let me sort by our results top to bottom. I did go over this in the pass optimal and GPP winning lineups. By the way, before I move on to that, how does this make some of you feel with the 7K range? Like, does this, limit what you were about to do? Is this reinforcing the golfers that you were thinking about playing? What does it do? Does it make you feel any different? Like, you're not going to hurt my feelings if you said, no, I'm just going to stick to my strategy. Like, that'd be fine. In fact, I'd probably applaud you because then you're sticking to your convictions. However, if you didn't really have a thought, a feeling one way or the other, how does this make you feel seeing that? I know most of you some of you I know joined this channel a long time ago because we have similar thought processes, but how does that make you feel in the 7K range? I'll move on with the 6K range. So if we're looking at 2022 and we're looking at all the 6K golfers, I kind of finished inside the top 20. We're going to see some trends here. So we have Denny McCarthy, Joel Damon, Nick Hardy, Hayden Buckley, Guido Migliozzi. That was last year. In 2021, we have Guido once again. Mackenzie Hughes down here in 15th place. No one else really in the top 20. In 2020, Will Zalatoris, Adam Long, Jason Kokrak, and Lucas Glover. 2019, Ches Reavie, Chesson Hadley, Danny Willett, Victor Hovland, and Benny Ann. In 2018, we had Russell Knox, Steve Stricker, Brian Gay. Did I miss one? Doesn't look like it. Dylan Meyer, I suppose. And then in 2017, we had Bill Haas, Xander, Brian Harmon, Trey Mullinax, Siwoo Kim, Ches Reavie, Eddie Pepperell. And I think that's what we have. So before we get in the 6K range, let me just catch up. From an ownership perspective, playing guys who have a bucket, 2 RF probably helps get a little different. Okay. Edward Gale says I'm stuck. I was looking at 2 high price and 4 7K guys. Still can do that though. Still probably playing more than one of those guys in each lineup from 75 to 79. Okay. Yeah. And hey, when it comes to the price tag, that's fine. But just considering what other buckets they're in, a website would be pretty fantastic where I could go, okay, what are the common trends for 7K golfers being inside the top 10? And then showing you that way, rather than going, you know, like one sheet by another sheet and trying to convince you otherwise. But yeah, it's a unique way to look at it. I always thought, you know, my process was a unique way to look at it. And again, I review the buckets every single week. They rarely fail. So, anyways, as I look at all these 6K golfers, so we're going to start here in 2017. Eddie Pepperell down here, yeah. European golfer, really didn't stay on tour very long. We're not playing Eddie Pepperell at 6,500. That's fine. Ches Reavie, kind of a mainstay, right? And I want you to keep track of all the mainstays that we see. So Ches Reavie, mainstay. Siwoo Kim, PGA Tour winner. Pretty darn good golfer. Trey Mullinax, PGA Tour winner. At the time, though, this would have been like one of those, you know, out-of-the-world plays. Bill Haas, mainstay on tour. Xander Schauffele, elite golfer now. So he, at that time, young guy, kind of trying to prove his worth. Brian Harman, mainstay. Go to 2018. We've got Dylan Meyer. Haven't really heard of him since. He's down here in 20th place. We're not playing him either way. Brian Gay, that'd have been kind of one of those weird picks to choose back then because he's always been a short ball hitter. We probably wouldn't want to play him either. Same goes with Steve Stricker. They all finished 20th place, so not even that big of a deal. Russell Knox, mainstay. That's really the only other 6K golfer to talk about, but Russell Knox is a mainstay. 2019, we got Benny Ann down here, who is a mainstay. Victor Hovland, elite golfer. Danny Willett, mainstay. Chesson Hadley, mainstay. Ches Reavie, mainstay. And what I mean by mainstay is they've been on tour for 3+ years, 5+ years. Most of these guys have been on tour 5+ years. 2020, Lucas Glover, $6,600, mainstay. Kokrak. Actually, Glover won the John Deere Open or John Deere Classic last year. Kokrak, PGA Tour winner as well. So mainstay, obviously he defected to live. Adam Long, PGA Tour winner and a mainstay. Will Zalatoris, elite golfer when he's not injured. 2021, Mac Hughes, PGA Tour winner, also a mainstay. I thought Brian Harman was 6K range. Guido Migliozzi is really the only odd one out of all of these that have shown up inside the top 10 because he has shown potential, but he's never been a mainstay on the PGA Tour. He's always been a DP World Tour player, and we're going to see him again in 2020 or 2022 down here at the bottom. Migliozzi down here. Hayden Buckley. Now, Hayden Buckley is kind of an interesting one. He was stone 6K last year, 14th place, and in the optimal lineup. Now, when it comes to Hayden Buckley, he almost won the Sony Open this last year. The guy's talented, right? He's probably going to be a potential tour winner, right? Because Trey Mullinax back in the 2019, 2018, was that Aaron Hills? Can't remember. 2017. Okay, 2017. Trey Mullinax had not yet won on tour then, so I think that's kind of interesting. Can't remember if Xander Schauffele had not won on tour at that time yet, but a lot of these young kids that we saw, like even Victor Hovland was in here at one point in time, had not won on tour. So does that mean Byron, by the way, back 9 bets? Maybe we load up on our Buckley cards because there might be a win coming here soon, or maybe even next year. Hayden Buckley has, the opportunity to win. Nick Hardy, by the way, hadn't won a PGA Tour event yet, but ended up becoming a PGA Tour winner through the Zurich Classic, but either way, a PGA Tour winner nonetheless. So he will be a mainstay. Joel Damon, PGA Tour winner, mainstay. Denny McCarthy is a mainstay, could have won the Memorial. So then when we look at 2023, you want to know what we can just easily get rid of? Golfers who aren't mainstays. Golfers who aren't what we can see as potential PGA Tour winners. So like Michael Kim, what's kind of funny about this, despite all those missed cuts he had, he's actually turned his game around. He's been a mainstay. He's also a PGA Tour winner. So you can consider him right away from the 6K range. Carson Young's a young kid. Hasn't yet won on tour, but we all think he has the talent to win on tour. So Carson Young could be an interesting play. Patrick Rogers has not yet won on tour, but he's a mainstay. So we could also use him. Kuchar, PGA Tour winner and mainstay. Streelman mainstay. Hadwin mainstay. They're also both PGA Tour winners. Taylor Pendrith has not yet won on tour. His rookie year was last year. He's very talented as well. Do we consider Taylor Pendrith someone that will be a mainstay or a potential tour winner? Do we think he's going to win a tour event in the next couple of years? That's what you got to think of. Same too goes with Hayden Buckley. Brian Harman's a mainstay. This guy right here, a lot of steam. DP World Tour guy. This would be your Guido Migliozzi. I just don't see it. He's had his potential. He's had previous attempts to actually be decent. Still haven't seen it. Can't remember if Andrew Putnam is a PGA Tour winner. I imagine he was, or he is. Let me double check. He has one PGA Tour win. Oh, yeah. What was it, Barracuda or Barbasol? The Barracuda. Okay. So he also has a win. That's also like Ches Reavie. Same thing. So you can consider him. Peters, extremely talented, but TP, now he's a live golf guy. I just don't see it. I love Thomas Peters and his game. I'm probably not playing him. Kurt Kitayama's already won on tour. Do we think Adam Schenk is going to be a mainstay or anything like that? Francesco Molinari is a mainstay. Svensson has won on tour, so he's going to be a mainstay. Same with Hoffman. Same with Damon. Same with Poston. Moronk, not so much. Herbert has won on tour. Mackenzie Hughes has won on tour. Nick Hardy has won on tour. Scott Stallings has won on tour. Sebastian Munoz, not so much. Everyone loves Sam Stevens. Do we think he's going to win a PGA Tour event sometime soon? I just don't see it. Like, I'm not going to jump on that hype train. And the rest of these guys, I mean, Davis Thompson was really close. You know, I still don't really necessarily see him as a PGA Tour winner. Maybe you guys do. I probably wouldn't come down here to Martin Keimer. He has won on tour, obviously. He has a major championship, but I probably wouldn't play him. And Stu Cink, we probably stay away from him. He's not I don't think he has anything to contend with this year. Bennett, on the other hand, maybe we select him. I've selected all these golfers in the 6K range because they are all either mainstays or PGA Tour winners. What sucks about it is it's a large group of golfers, but I always tell you, don't fall in love with a 6K golfer. Never disrespect a 6K golfer, but never fall in love with a 6K golfer. So I'm going to deselect some of these. I'll select Sam Stevens just for the hell of it. This is 25 golfers in the 6K range that I think are playable this week. That, you know, based off of previous trends in the 6K range, these are the only names you consider. We don't look at anything below here because, you know, either these guys are past their prime where they probably don't offer any benefit in playing in the US Open, or we just don't see them as potential PGA Tour winners. Like Gordon Sargent, by the way, could he be Xander Schauffele? Like, could he be the next? I mean, it wouldn't be the next Xander, it'd be the next Cam Young. Could he be the next Cam Young? Too early to tell. I'm not going to select him right now. A lot of people like Dylan Wu. I don't want just a cut maker. I want a top 10 guy. Dylan Wu's not my guy. A lot of these other guys, because they haven't won on tour and because they're not mainstays, I'm just not going to choose them. And I think you should just ignore these guys, regardless of what anyone else says, you know, any other podcast. You're really not, and like Martin Keimer, I'll probably just stay away from him either way. So I have 24 golfers to select from. And I think that's kind of where I'm probably staying at. This is what I feel like with the 6K range. Can I get, is Barry in the chat? Can I get an agreement with Barry on any of these guys? Whoever Barry likes is probably the guys we need to play. But knowing Barry and his Wierenski pick from last week, he's probably on some chump down here like Thriston Lawrence. He's probably on like a Thriston Lawrence, isn't he? He's got to be. I'm probably not playing Molinari, so I could probably cut him out of my life. Same too with Charlie Hoffman. So now I'm down to 22 golfers. I'm probably also not playing Nick Hardy, although I kind of like him this week. I will not be playing Scott Stallings. I don't know what happened to his game, but I don't like it. And I think that's probably it. I think I played the rest of the guys. Did any of these 6K golfers have like the worst recent form? Sure. Hayden Buckley did. 80.20, but it's not. Oh, Mackenzie Hughes did. So we bring back Scott Stallings. Okay, Scott Stallings, we can bring him back. South Africans catching strays in the 6K range. Which South Africans are we talking about? So that's kind of how I feel about the 6K range. So we went over the 7K range. We went over the 6K range. I think we start building lineups, right? That obviously means we bring up the music. Oh, Thriston. A lot of people like him. I'm not one of them. The Thirsty Lawrence, as Pat Mayo likes to call him. We bring on the 80s crime thriller soundtrack since it's been a good omen. I think the first lineup that I want to build is the one that I'm going to put in the $5 contest with Joshua Maz. We're going to start with Xander, Cameron Young, and Patrick Rogers. So Xander, Cammy Boy Young, and the mainstay, Patrick Rogers. I don't think about. I don't know. I don't know about Sungjae. I don't want Sungjae in my lineup. By the way, if any of you guys have some lineup ideas, I have Gabe's in the chat up top that I'll do pretty soon. If any of you guys want me to build lineups around 2 to 4 golfers, let me know. Ooh, Walking Neiman. I kind of like it. This is a maybe. This one is a maybe. The maybe, I don't like it to be a yes just yet. So, Neiman's gonna get the boot. I can get 1000% behind this lineup. This lineup is my favorite lineup. This is the one we're doing. Joshua Maz, you still in the line or in the chat? This is it. This is gonna win us all the monies. I'm gonna put it up at the top. To remind me, this goes into, well, I can't tell you where this is going to, guys. This will break the TOS with DraftKings. I can't tell you where I'm putting this lineup, but you kind of already know. Boom. We got our first one. Byron, we're assembling a big laser beam because we want to obliterate the optimal lineup. So we're putting all the components together. This is a creative Death Star music, essentially. We're creating the Death Star right now. I can't pin it from there. I gotta go over here and pin it. Pin the massage, as some people like to call it. Let's see. When you get there, can you build me a Cam Smith, Henley, and Sungjae lineup as I just trashed Sungjae? Yes, Gabe Brown, I certainly can. And Henley was what, 7,000? 71. You got it. Xander Schauffele, Cameron Smith, Sungjae Im, Tom Kim, Adam Scott, Russell Henley. I will never play this lineup, but I love it. I really like this lineup. So I'm going to save it. This will probably be like a winner take all. Maybe a cheaper something. Let's mark these orange. Orange is like eh. Nor like the degenerate 75. Eh. That's eh, chalk. Oh, one of these guys is the lowest one. That would be Henley. So we don't have Gabe here. Gabe is going to trust my instincts. And my instincts tell me don't play Tom Kim. So we move on. I had my chat all the way up to the top and I just scrolled down to the bottom and Ryan's there. No, get Tom Kim. Okay. Hey, man. Hey. We don't need to yell. You remember, I've got these headache issues. You know, we don't need loud noises right now. Let's keep it down. Xander Schauffele, Cam Smith, Sungjae Im, Jason Day, Adam Scott, Russell Henley. So I will not be playing much Jason Day, but I can get behind this lineup. And again, mark it orange because it's just one of those kind of lineups. By the way, what Degenerate 75 does with his soundboard, I have my own little stream deck here, and I plan to have a soundboard on here. I just, man, with life and golf now, I mean, I'm trying to get myself into let's just call it prime optimal golfing shape, where I can go into tournaments and just play, good golf without trying. Focused on that, focused on, having a good summer. So haven't really, my apologies, guys, really honestly, because I say I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, but it's like time goes on and I still haven't done a lot of those things. Now I'm really close to, I need to pay someone to build me a website. If any of you guys know anyone that builds websites that are pretty good, I'm going to pay someone to do it for me. So I will do that here eventually, and then boom, put all my data into it, have the bucket system, all that good stuff. It'll be awesome. But as for the soundboard, that's something I'm going to do, eventually, maybe the off season, yes. So we already built this lineup. It had Jason Day in it. Do we get rid of Adam Scott? Let me take out Jason Day, and then if we see another Adam Scott lineup, we probably just remove him. Ooh, I can get behind this lineup. Schauffele, Smith, Sungjae, Burns, Adam Scott, Henley. Remember, Burns can't putt on anything that isn't Bermuda, so this is a risk. That'll probably be my only Burns lineup. I think we get rid of Adam Scott, right? Jim, hate to see you leave, man, but nice to see you joining the chat. Good luck to you as well. I think this is where I probably get rid of Adam Scott, right? Actually, let me build one more with maybe Adam Scott, and then I can bring back Sam Burns in case he's good with someone else. There we go. Get our 10K golfer in there. So Patrick Cantlay, Cam Smith, Sungjae Im, Ricky Fowler, Adam Scott, and Russell Henley. That's pretty solid. So now I can get rid of Adam Scott. I'm going to build one lineup without... Actually, let me bring back Burns right away. So again, we have Patrick Cantlay, Cam Smith, Sung J M, Ricky Fowler, Patrick Reed, Russell Henley. Wow. Who do we get rid of here? Oh my God. Probably Reed. I kind of want to see more Reed lineups though. But yeah, I'll probably drop him. When we do that, we bring in Joaquin Niemann. So this seems to be a core 5 with Cantlay, Smith, Im, Niemann, Fowler, Henley. That's fine. I think that's a good lineup. I'm gonna save it. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of Niemann. There we go. Good. I was hoping to see someone other than Xander or Patrick Cantlay, and this one we get John Rahm, Cam Smith, Sungjae Im, Ricky Fowler, Russell Henley, and Brian Harman. There we go. 10-9-8, 7-7-6. I think we just have to save this one. This is a good one. There we go. That's some good variety for Mr. Gabriel Brown. Hopefully that does you some justice there. I think I just leave that one white. I actually like that one. Okay. Alrighty, I'll go to the next. Fowler gotta go. Sure. I'll build one more for Gabe and remove Fowler. This one's pretty solid. Patrick Cantlay, Smith, Sung J M, Justin Rose, Russell Henley, Emiliano Grillo. I like that one too. Okay. Ryan, I'll get on to your lineups now. Let me pin that to the chat. Anyone else want to see 2 to 4 or lineups built with 2 to 4 of your favorite golfers? Let me know. And if I'm missing someone, let me know, because the only other lineup that I saw built was Ryan with this one. So if yours was actually above Ryan's, let me know, because I didn't see it. But Ryan wants to see Morikawa, Denny McCarthy. Okay. That's a very interesting mix, but I like it. Where are we at, Denny? There you are. There you are. So we start again with Xander, Colin Morikawa, Tyrrell Hatton, Wyndham Clark, Adam Scott, Denny McCarthy. That's pretty solid. I mean, it isn't like my favorite for a GPP winner, but if you wanted to put this into a league lineup, I think that's just fine. By the way, Ryan, let me know who you want kicked out of here. I think by rule, Denny McCarthy is the lowest metric, so he's going to be the one that wants to be kicked out. But do you not like anyone from this list? And when I go through these lineups, let me know who you would like removed, and I can certainly remove anybody for you. You're just gonna do Ed like that, huh? All right, removing Wyndham Clark. And now we get John Rahm, Colin Morikawa, Tommy Fleetwood, Adam Scott, McCarthy, and Grillo. I like that lineup. That's a pretty... There's your 4 7K golfers, by the way. Recent form 2s. We're only selecting one of those. Or no, we selected 4. It was not Rom. Was it Colin? Colin is not one of those. So it was the other 7K golfers. Probably a no-no, but... I like it. We can roll with it. I wish I could add that as a conditional, like no more than, you know, 4 7K golfers with a bucket in. No more than 4 7K golfers have a recent form 2 bucket. Anyways, who would you like kicked out of this one? I'm thinking Grillo, most likely. Yeah, okay. Dude, I love seeing this diversity. Rory McIlroy, Colin Morikawa, Sung J M, Justin Rose, Adam Scott, Denny McCarthy. Love that lineup. Do you want me to get rid of anyone out of that one? That's a really good one. Really, really, really like that one. Let me know. My vote would be Sung Jae, but if it's not Sung Jae, maybe Adam Scott, Justin Rose. Kick Rory, okay. All right, all right, all right. Hey, man, I get it. Pretty much the same lineup, but now we put Tom Kim in there. Xander, Morikawa, Sung Jae, Tom Kim, Adam Scott, Denny McCarthy. Not terrible, honestly. Not terrible. Another one. I kind of like this one too. Son of a Bee. Why are these songs so slow? Wish I could just cut out some of the ones I don't like. In this one, who do we want kicked? Oh, you want Tom Kim kicked. You were telling me Tom Kim. Got to go. He broke him. All right, 2 more. I'll be able to do 2 more. This next one and the next one after that. Xander Collin, Tyrrell Hatton, Adam Scott, Taylor Montgomery, Denny McCarthy. That's different. It's a good, that's a good different. So much so I have to save it because I'm not building this lineup, but it's good. Byron got a little feisty. Let's see here. Who do we want kicked? One more lineup for you, Ryan. Who would you like kicked? Or is there another person you'd like me to anchor around? Montgomery? Look at you spelling Montgomery's name wrong. I love it. He doesn't even deserve the respect to get his name spelt correctly. Actually, he already got the kick. He already got it. Goodbye. Bye-bye. Morikawa, Hatton, Finau, Rose. Yeah, okay. I'm not playing this one either, but I have to save it. That's a sexy, balanced, well, it's sort of balanced lineup. Leaving $600 on the table for AZ. Okay. those were our lineups for Ryan. Ryan, if you want to see more later, we can certainly build more later. I think I have to address a question in the chat. How do you feel about Sungjae only having one top 20 in majors if you exclude Augusta? Yeah, and that was what that Augusta finish was on Bermuda. So, and Sungjae does well on Bermuda courses, right? Yeah, not good, man. Not good at all. His swing is something that baffles me as well, because I don't even know how it works, for how far he sets up away from the ball and like how slow he turns, and then it just doesn't make any sense to me. So yeah, I don't trust Sungjae whatsoever. Let me go up to the next lineup. Josh, I'm just seeing your message that says that you like it. Good. And Byron, I just see Death Star be damned. Is it Edward? Edward, is it yours next? Oh, was it Edward before Ryan? My bad. Whoops. Xander and Scotty. Trying to figure out how I missed that, Edward. My bad. You were actually first, and then it was Ryan. Xander and Scotty. Oof. This will be interesting. The guy who wants to stay away from the 6K range is probably going to get some 6K golfers from here. There we go. Kuchar. Look at that. We didn't have to push for Kuchar in our lineup. He just shows up. So Edward, just like Ryan, when I'm building these lineups, who would you like kicked out? Because I think it's going to kick out Kuchar right away. And that, I think we probably just do that anyways. That's fine. But you let me know. If you keep seeing the same name show up, let me know. We'll kick him out. So it looks like Wyndham Clark and Adam Scott are going to be paired up with another low 7 or another 6. Adam Hadwin's fine though. I don't mind that. Yeah. Looks like it's this core 5. So who would you like to get rid of? I'm gonna go ahead and pin Byron's lineup to the top. We're still doing Edwards though. Edward wants Scotty and Xander together. Now you guys said to combine them, but okay, we'll kick Grillo out, and then I can go ahead and try to force in Lucas Herbert. What was he, 67, 66? 67. Scheffler, Schauffele, Sahith, Adams, Scott, Denny McCarthy, Lucas. Yeah, this one's a good one. I like this one. Is there anyone you want me to kick out of this one? And do you want me to continue to build lineups with Lucas Herbert in it? Or did you just want to see like the top one with Lucas Herbert in it? It's unfortunate with this 10-second delay, but The best I got. I could probably open up a Discord, have all you guys join that. While I'm live streaming, and then just only have the audio come to my headphones, and so you guys could join that, or I could talk in there and you could leave me messages on here. That way you'd get me at real time. That would be one that would work. You don't want any more lineups, Edward? You just want to see that one? Let me know. That lineup would give Mike Python nightmares. Who's that? Is that like a play on words? Okay, cool. Oh, absolutely, dude. If anyone else wants lineups built, I know I have Byron's here to do, but I think he's the last person that gave me a combo. If anyone wants to see more combination or any other one, let me know. Just gonna use yours a little bit here. Oh, Mike Tyson. I got you. Why would it give Mike Tyson the list? Yeah. I got it. My bad. I got confused with the Tyson. Ooh, here's an interesting one. Scott Montgomery, Henley, and Cage Lee, the Korean cowboy. There we go. Scott Stallings, we kicked him out, but then we brought him back. I actually like that one. Doing it. That matches the 7K thing that I was actually going over earlier. Whoa. All right, Byron, on to your lineups. Joey, I see in the chat. I will get to yours after Byron's. Cantley, Rose, and Cole. Do we have a narrative behind this lineup? Does every Cantley have a... Rose has a Cole Cantley in it? I don't know. I tried. That was bad, but I tried. Eric Cole. Byron really likes Cantley, and Eric Cole is brothers. That's what we got cooking. Yeah. Let me zoom out a little bit. I want to see where the end shows up. Okay, Cantley, Shoffley, M, Rose, Cole, and Grillo. Look at that. We're cooking. We are cooking Byron. We are cooking with some Emiliano Grillo. Just cooking up the steak, lobster, and chicken right there. Cantley, Shoffley, M, Rose, Cole. Like, Cantley and Shoffley, arguably my favorite combo this week. M, who we've had lengthy discussions on already. It's not terrible. It's not super great, but not terrible. Well, I shouldn't even say it's not super great. It's pretty good. Who would you like me to be? Who would you like me to remove out of this? Coal powered Grillo, yeah. Oh, I like that one. I have a superstition that I don't like playing golfers that have the same salaries. So I wouldn't want to play this one because Cole and Grillo are $7,000. I've already been proven that that doesn't matter. Can't remember the one where Keegan Bradley won. Or he was at the top. Him and somebody else at $7,800 were first and second place in the optimal. Sung Jae's getting the boot. Goodbye, Sung Jae. And kick him far. Okay. Byron's very feisty. How many summer shandies have we had tonight? Cantley Shoffley. This is pretty darn close to a Byron special because we got Tom Kim, the little engine that could. Russell Henley, I heard you talking about Henley. I think I did. Maybe I didn't. Maybe it was a different podcast. This is pretty solid. I don't mind this one. Leaving $500 on the table, being a little different for 7K golfers. Not terrible. Out on Kim. My boy Cam is back this week. Okay. Are you talking about Cam Young? Or, oh, Cam Smith. Why are we not doing Cam Smith lineups? You know, with the unicorn in the background and all that good stuff. Why are we not doing Cam Smith with these lineups? I like this lineup. I like this lineup a lot. I don't mind Cam Smith this week. I think it's... I'll be playing him. What do we think about this one, Byron? Patrick Cantley, Xander Schauffele, Samuel Burns, Justin Every Rose is a thorn. Russell Henley and Eric Cole. Who'd you like kicked? Get Burns out of there. I have a feeling that Byron is just hoping Cam Smith gets selected. Just out of natural tendencies. What's up, Cole? I've been doing this for 2 months now? 3 months? Something like that. Usually building lineups for the peeps, for the peoples in here. Patrick Cantley, Xander Schauffele, Dustin Johnson, Russell Henley, Justin Rose, Eric Cole. DJ over Cam Smith? What? Well, Cam Smith's up there at 9,000. I don't know if Cam Smith is gonna... Okay. Yeah, you got it, man. Do I just save this because? I think I save this because. That's probably gonna be my only DJ lineup. I probably won't even. I'm with you on DJ. There's no way I want to play DJ this week. That's right. That's exactly what he wants to do. He wants to kick everyone out until it naturally happens. I'm probably out on DJ, honestly. I don't really care for Dustin Johnson this week. I don't know, like, DJ is already hard to read, and then he goes to live, and then he doesn't play that much, so he becomes even harder to read. Like, is this going to be a DJ week or not? I think DJ is one of those guys that you need to see form before you want to play him. Oh, the wrong Cam. Yeah, look at this. This is exactly what he's doing, shot. He's like, we cannot have Cameron Young. We need Cameron Smith. Cameron Smith is my brother over here. Oh, Okay, this is a really good lineup, dude. This is okay. I can't wait to come back to this after the US Open's over and just see one of these lineups being the optimal lineup. And Byron, who is fueled by, what is Byron? Byron's fueled by what? Karma, superstition, and feelings. I think that's what Byron is built on. He zigs when everyone zags because it's just a feeling that he has inside him. Okay, so Buckley and Cam Young. All right, hey man, we can continue knocking people out. And by the way, Shot Like Harden, we can actually do this because that is technically natural. The buckets, the optimizer will tell us if it can't work out. Rosie, Clark, Woodland, that's too much money left on the table in my opinion. I'm just gonna bump this up to 49.5. Dude, that is so good because he is a Jets fan. Yep, that's gotta be it. It's gonna happen one of these years, guys. It's just going to. My buddy Cole he was in the chat earlier. I went to college with him with a bunch of Wisconsin buddies, so he's probably gonna make fun of you for Aaron Rodgers being on the Jets team. Or maybe not. Maybe he doesn't care that much, but now you get Aaron Rodgers. I actually like Aaron Rodgers, but I don't know where I was going with that one, but anyways, good luck, Byron. Get Neiman out of there. All right, Byron, I'm gonna give you you get 3 more chances to try to get Cammy Boy Smith in your lineups. Hey, your boy Lowry's here now. I'm saving this one. Yeah, Cole, you can make fun of Back Nine Bets. He's a crazy South African that likes to do this podcasting stuff like me. You can go ahead and the opposite of gas him up. I mean, gas him down. This is the year, baby. Ian. Yeah, this lineup is pretty good. I like this lineup too. Anybody you want out? This podcast is like, or not podcast, this playlist is like good for a couple songs and just sucks. Okay, we got one that he likes, but you want to know what I want to do? Let's plug in Cam Smith. I just want to see the optimizer break and just ruin Byron's dreams. Break. It broke. You can't build lines with Cam Smith. Oh. Give me those salty Jets tears. Come on. Let's see it. Oh, it can build. And it, oh my. Did I actually remove someone else? Rose? No. Look. You got one. I prematurely celebrated there. Look at this lineup, Byron. This has your guys except for Sung Jae. What if you need Sung Jae in order to get to Cam Smith? What if you need that? Would you be okay with that? Come on. Oh, Edward wants M and Grillo out.
Halt, Diablo players. Do you have what it takes to beat hell? Get the best build.
Did Byron leave? Is he gone? Byron, paging Byron. Come on. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and take Im and Grillo out. Byron probably left to go get a beer. See, but I think Byron wants... Okay, hold on. I gotta do this. Oh, he probably is crying in the corner. I gotta see if it works without... It does, but it's not someone that Byron likes. There we go. That's a good one. But he doesn't like Tom Kim, so we can't do Tom Kim. He is out on Tom Kim. Sorry, gentlemen. I just wanted to see this. We start hating on the Jets, and oh, his internet craps out. Yeah, well, you live in Iowa, so that's probably why. Yeah, internet signal doesn't reach Iowa. You doing Starlink? You doing the Elon Musk internets? What internet provider do you have down there? I wonder if we have that same. Let's see, what is it? Can't even think of it. I had it in the cities. Do you have Extreme or whatever it's called? Can't remember. Yep, this is how you get Cameron Smith, by the way, Byron. Gotta go through Dustin Johnson, Tom Kim, or Sung Jae Im. The only way. You cannot escape it. Oh, you have Mediacom. Yeah, I have Mediacom up here too. Good old Mediacom. Yeah. Cam Smith has to be paired up with all your losers, by the way. This is a pretty good lineup, though. All right, Byron. I gave you your Cam Smith love. I don't even know if you were paying attention. Let's see here. What was our next one? I see Ian with Brooks and Hovland. Oh, I missed Byron doing his best snake impression. Snake, Scotty, softly, and Sahith. So many things you miss. Okay. Is it Brooks and Hovland then? Just double checking here. Where was I? Yeah, okay. Okay, we're caught up now. So I just did back 9 bets, and now we are on Ian's, Brooks, and Hovland. I thought there was another Vic one in there somewhere. If I missed any of you guys, just throw them in the chat again. If you have 2 to 4 golfers who want me to build lineups around, let me know. So we are on Victor, Hovland, and Brooksy. Oof. 2 10K golfers. I love it. This will be different. That's right, Joey. Okay. Let me pin your chat or your lineup right away. We're still doing Ian's, Brooks, and Hovland. Okay. So 2 10K golfers paired up with 2 6K golfers. Ian, if by chance you don't like any 1, 2, or even 3 of these guys, let me know. We'll kick them out. But you see the little no here? That's what's automatically gonna get kicked out. So Dylan Woo's gonna get the boot. If you're cool with that, then I can just move on. You know what? I'm just gonna continue building lineups until chat. Oh yeah, and Jeff wanted Vic there. That's the Vic and Cam Smith. Okay. Thank you guys. I will definitely do those. Koepka, Hovland, Fitzpatrick, KH Lee, Thomas B. Okay. I have it set up right now where it needs to select 19K. I can remove that. Would you like me to remove that rule where it has to select the 9K? Because you might we might run into this issue where it's the 210s and then Fitzpatrick will always be selected because he's a 9K golfer, and then we've got the 6Ks. That will probably happen more often than not. So let me know. I have a feeling we just get rid of the 9K rule and just leave it at 0. Yeah, and then we just build better lineups. So now we have Brooks, Victor, Ricky Fowler, Adam Scott, Denny McCarthy, and KH Lee. Not terrible. KH Lee will get the boot. Oh, absolutely. I'm ahead of you. Kind of already, I figured as much. Koepka, Hovland, Fowler, Scott, McCarthy, and Adam Hadwin. I like Adam as a 6K golfer. It's not terrible. I feel like, okay, so I was gonna say, I think Fowler and Scott are gonna show up. So Scott's gonna continue to show up. Do you want Adam Scott in your lineups? I can remove him right now if you'd like me to. This lineup is really good. I'm gonna save it. Too many Patrick Rogers lineups though, but I like it with Sahith Theegala. Gotta double check how many Patrick Rogers lineups. 1, 2. Okay, not as much as I thought. Maybe I was building a bunch of them. Yeah, 4. I like Scott as well. Okay, we'll keep him on. Koepka, Hovland, Wyndham Clark, Adam Scott, Denny McCarthy, and Kuchar. I don't mind Kuchar to go with this these lineups. Again, I don't like when price tags are the same. So like Clark and Scott, don't really care for it, but not terrible. Do you like Tom Kim? I'm kind of liking the idea of 2 10Ks because it's bringing these 7K golfers, and it's kind of like, I really like Adam Scott and Denny McCarthy this week. So like anything that changes up here, I'm pretty cool with. And then you just bring in a 6K. This is kind of happening pretty naturally. I don't mind this at all. Yeah, sign me up for something like this. Bring in Taylor Pendrith. Absolutely love that. Out on Kim. Tom Kim? Okay. If he shows up again, I'll kick him out. Siwoo, Rosie, Fowler. Okay, Edward, we'll do that after Joey and Jeff. Okay, so this was a good lineup minus Tom Kim. So let me go ahead and remove Tom Kim. I think Kuchar was a part of one Tom Kim lineup, I think. I'm gonna, I think, was this one Svensson? Yeah. I don't, maybe it wasn't Kuchar. Anyways, let me do this again and run through them. What we gotta do to get Paulina in there? DJ Byron, Paulina Cam. Is that your fantasy there, Byron? Yeah, I'm not gonna say. I could say foursome. Never mind. I'm talking about golf. I'm not talking about anything else. What a dirty South African, I tell ya. Can't trust him. Can't trust him. Yeah. All right. Not getting back to the, doesn't look like. Okay, so we put Yako in there when we put Svensson instead of Tom Kim. That's okay. I think this is a pretty decent lineup. I just don't trust Joaquin Neiman, but okay. If I'm not, okay. I don't think I'm ever putting a Brooks and Victor Hovland lineup together. And I'm also probably not doing it with, at least I'm not going to put a lineup in there with Joaquin Neiman. So I'm cool with saving that, throwing that in a winner take all somewhere, just going from there. Ooh, Kurt Kitayama. Not someone that I would care to play, but hey, diversity, always good. Can you run through those last 3 to 4 Koepka Hovland lineups? Can you run through those last? What do you mean by that? I'm not sure exactly what you mean. This one's decent. Koepka, Hovland, Thigala, Ricky Fowler. Yeah, I'll save this one too. Oh, didn't you hear what our lineup was, Josh? I thought you said nice, or that you liked it. It's right here. Come on. It's this top one. So you went with Xander, Cam Young, and Patrick Rogers. I ended up with the optimizer selected Cantlay, Rose, and Denny McCarthy. Yes, I think it's a great lineup. Repeat them, but all good. I can just rewind. Yes. Rewinding on YouTube is why I love YouTube. It's better than Twitch because you can just go backwards and then hit live and boom, jump right back up to the front. Or go backwards, and then if you don't want to miss anything that I say, I speak slow enough where you can put me on like 1.5 times speed and you'll catch up just fine, and I'll talk like a normal person. If I don't know what I'm talking about, I drag out my sentence. Like if I'm not sure what I'm talking, what I want to talk about. But yeah, it's usually what I end up doing. I always want to go backwards. Yeah, this is a different playlist. So we already went through that crime one. Now we're on this one. 2-hour synthwave mix, LA Sunset. I have the volume turned down on my side. Actually, let me just turn it up. I don't want it to come through my mic. Okay, so let's see here. I'll build 2 more. Bill shows up. Brooks, Victor, Fowler, Scott McCarthy, and Mickelson. Wow. I did not see that coming. I like this. Anytime I can add Streelman in just naturally, I'm down for it. Okay. That is all for Mr. Gale's lineups. Thank you, Edward. Let's go to, I think, Joey's, right? Joey's the next one. Rahm and Hovland. So again, 10K golfers unite. Joey, we kind of have an issue here. The issue, oh, geez. The issue is that John Rahm, Victor Hovland are in the same group. We can make this, we can let this pass. I can go ahead and change the rule that says we don't play golfers in the same group together. Is that something you want to do? Because again, we can do it. Not a big deal. But it is, you know, breaking the rules. Are you sure? I can change the rules. I'm kind of jokingly, lightheartedly giving you a crap. All I gotta do is just change this to a 2. We got it. Here, let me just build you a couple. Rom, Hovland, Scott, Reed, Grillo, Adam Hadwin. I'll build you like 3, and then we can move to Rom Fino. Rom, Hovland, Clark, Scott, Grillo, Kuchar. Here's something a little different. As Scott, like Adam Scott's just going to show up a ton with Denny McCarthy and Wyndham Clark. Okay. Those aren't terrible. All right, Rom Fino. We should add a little bit more flexibility when building lineups. Clark and Scott. Do we want Clark and Scott? Let me know, because those guys are going to show up a ton. I can just remove them right now, and then we can bring back Grillo and see if Grillo shows up in any of the other ones. But yeah, this will get out of hand. It'll be like, or it'll be Rose, Clark, and Scott in most of these. In fact, if you don't like Rose, or even Wyndham Clark, Scott, let me know. The bottom 3. You got it. Wow. Rom, Hatton, Finau, Ricky Fowler, Brian Harmon, and Andrew Putnam. That's not terrible. In fact, I have a rule set up that it wants us to select one 7K golfer. Actually, if we're gonna go by rules, the other rule is to pick one 9K golfer. So here's one of the more balanced builds, and then we'll get into more of the structured builds. Ooh, Cam Smith gets added to the mix. You know what? The 2 6K builds were showing up on the Pass Optimal and GPP wing laps quite a bit. That I'm like, when I see this lineup, I really like this lineup. Like, if there was ever a lineup that has 2 6K golfers in it, and plus, by the way, these 2 6Ks are mainstays and previous PGA Tour winners. So it continues to fit our narrative. Here's a little different. I like this. It adds McCarthy in there. Do you like Cameron Smith? Because it looks like he's now shown up twice. I don't know if he's going to continue to show up, but if you do like him, we can keep him in there. Okay, so we just replace one of them. Kuchar? I don't mind Kuchar. You got it, Joey. Looks like we've got our core 5 again. Rom, Cam Smith, Finau, McCarthy, KH Lee, Adam Hadwin. Again, don't mind Adam Hadwin. He's part of the 6K narrative. Mainstays or PGA Tour winners, or future PGA Tour winners, right? We all agree Buckley's going to be a future PGA Tour winner. Actually, I don't know. Not terrible. If we see KH Lee and Denny McCarthy show up again. Okay, so Byron, you have a lovely day or a lovely night. Get some good rest. You done learned the bunch, huh? Yeah, let's take down some GPPs. You know, we already had Nick that was in the chat earlier. He already took one down. Obviously, Ryan Henson took one down. Just gotta be another one of the community to do so. Joey. KH Lee and Denny McCarthy are showing up a ton. You want me to get rid of them? one of them, both of them, none of them, just keep going and seeing all the 6Ks that will cycle through, which is fine. I mean, having a core 5 is fine. I mean nothing by it. I think what I'm going to do is just get rid of Gage Lee. There's just, I would much rather have Denny McCarthy than Gage Lee. There we go. We had Siwoo Kim and Davis Thompson, which Thompson doesn't really match the main, you know, any of the narratives, but it's fine. Okay. We could do something like this. I probably wouldn't have any Dylan Wu exposure outside of a lineup like this. And I don't mind a lineup like this. This is actually pretty decent. You let me know whenever you want me to remove Cam Smith, because it looks like it's the glue that's holding these lineups together. Or maybe it's not the glue, it's just happenstance. Don't really care for that one. Well, it's not terrible. I like this one. This is a good one. Yeah, this is another good one. I mean, this is like, if you really want to get narrow, it's got Cam Smith in it. It's got Denny McCarthy in it. And that's like a core 4. And then we're kind of exchanging a lot of these other golfers together. I think that's fine. I mean, a lot of people, you know, win a lot of money doing that kind of strategy, finding a core 4 and kind of changing everything out. Another good consideration. So again, now we're doing what the cascading method, if you think about it, where you start with a lineup and then you just switch out 3 from each spot. So this one is like Adam Schenk, we switch out for Adam Svensson, but we keep the main 5. That's one way, at least for me, to naturally do the cascading method, as opposed to just, you know, looking at price tags and moving around golfers that match it. Harris English, the Harry-ish. Not terrible. Okay. Yeah, Cam Smith has been ruling this whole thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove Cam Smith. A lot of Cam Smith lineups we've built. And if it breaks the optimizer, then I have to cut the rule of 9Ks. You know what? Let's just keep running with this. Instead, we replace him with Matty Fitzpatrick, but I don't know. Don't like Paul Haley. Tell you that much for sure. Here's a great lineup. Wow. Okay. We again have to add Russell Henley. I mean, we could do worse with Russell Henley. Mac Hughes is getting the cut. Oof. No, thank you. No, thank you. Let's do one more Matty Fitzpatrick, and then I'm gonna cut out Matt Fitzpatrick and see what we can build. Yeah, it's pretty solid. Mito Pereira, Eric Cole, and Francesco Molinari. That's not terrible. Do I save this one as well? Sure. Lots of oh, no Russell Henley in this one. Never mind. This is different though. I don't mind this. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove Fitzpatrick. Run like 2 or 3 more. Then we can go on to Jeff's lineups. There we go. Morikawa gets added to this with Finau, Mito, Kuchar, and Poston. Yep, I can do that. That's a good one too. I think what I'll end up doing with some of these groups is going in and just finding my favorite 2. Last week when I was saving all these lineups, I found myself at kind of an issue because I had too many lineups for the contest that I built. So I was like, how do I get these in? So I started playing more contests and things I wouldn't have done. Ended up just being a waste of money. So I just probably need to pick my 2 favorite groups or my 2 favorite golfer lineups in those groups and then go from there. Don't care for Paul Haley. I'm just never gonna get to Paul Haley. I don't mind something like this. Again, Colin Morikawa, Mito Pereira. Sure, I'll do this one too. 2 6K golfers, just be a little different. This is a pretty good GPP lineup. Okay. One more. Peters and Putnam. One more after that. Or one more now. I don't like that one. Kuchar and Thompson with Max Homa. First Homa spotting. Okay. With Mito, Kuchar, and Dave. It's not a... Okay. I'll save that one too. I have a feeling I'm going to do a lot of ROM lineups in either the quarter arcade or the dime time. All right, moving on to the next one. Need to get to Jeff. This was the next one right here. Vic and Cam Smith. Jeff, are you still in the chat, by the way? If you are, just let me know. If you keep seeing the same names, you know, show up. If you want him or, you know, whatever golfers kicked out, let me know. There are some that you're like, no way, never. Just let me know. Smith, Finau, Fowler, Scott, and Grillo. Not terrible. Ooh. McCarthy getting the boot on this one. Also, let me know if you want me to bring back certain players that got the boot. Looks like a lot of balance builds. Hovland, Smith, Finau, Fowler, Scott, Cage, Lee. This isn't bad. Like, if you wanted to start a league lineup or a cash game lineup with any of these guys, not terrible, but like they keep showing up. Hovland, so you got a core 5 right now. Hovland, Smith, Finau, Fowler, Scott. Do you want me to remove any of those guys? Change out Fowler, put in Tom Kim. It's not a bad 10-9-8-7-7-6. 10-9-9-7-7-6. Ooh. Getting a little dicey. No Tony, please? Okay. I'm going to go back. I'm going to remove some of these guys and remove Tony. Ooh, here's a Keegan Bradley lineup. Haven't seen him in a while. So do nose there and keep these open and rerun them. Since they already all came with Tony Finau, we can see what it does. Okay. I don't mind this. I mean, I don't really care for Tom Kim, but if you're going to build a Tom Kim lineup, that's not terrible. Okay, so Sung Jae is going to show up a lot. Do you want Sung Jae? Yeah. Sung Jae, Tom Kim, Adam Scott, Denny McCarthy. We already saw that one earlier, which isn't terrible. Saw that one too. So Fowler and Scott. I don't know what yes refers to. Oh, kick Sung Jae out. Do we want Fowler or Scott removed? Just let me know. Just say, you know, kick whoever out and I'll kick them. Not a Tom Kim guy? Okay. Let me go ahead and bring back some of these guys again then. Yeah, we saw this one. Saw that one. Didn't see that one, but now it's these 5 golfers. Okay, now we change it up. Okay. 3 $7,500 golfers back to back to back. Interesting. And Sam Burns, the lowest metric golfer there. Here we go. Here's a little difference. Colin Morikawa, Cam Smith, Adam Scott, McCarthy, and Cagely. That's not terrible. Don't mind that. More Fitzpatrick with Fowler and Scott and a 6K golfer. Just fine. If you like that, then go for it. Our first Justin Thomas lineup of the night. Hovland, Smith, JT, Fowler, Scott, McCarthy. I need to save it because I'm not getting there any other way. That was just naturally bringing up Justin Thomas. Hovland, Spieth. We first Spieth sighting tonight, and again with the Fowler Scott brothers. If you like Fowler and Scott, then by all means, these are great lineups. If you don't want those guys together, let me know. Our first Jason, well, not our first Jason Day, but that's a very unique lineup we haven't seen built yet. I think we're gonna try to end in the next 10 to 15 minutes. So I'm gonna just build these lineups pretty quick. Good night coming in. The disrespect towards JT is unbearable. How long you been watching? How long you been listening? Huh? You like this without Day? Good night, just lurking. He hasn't said anything about JT. Oh my god, he just said the worst thing ever about JT. Can't believe it. It's a good one. Hovland, Spieth, Smith, Fowler, Scott, Poston. Here we go. Here's a... Oh, I like this lineup. Hovland, Smith, Matsuyama, Tommy Fleetwood, Scott, and Rogers. Yeah. Sign me up. That's a good one. Best one that I've seen with this combo yet. Keep that white, actually. Okay. One more. Just fires in with the JT comment. I love it. That's the way to do it. There we go. And the last one for this combo. Wow. Okay, it's another good one. Good. That was a good one to end on. Or for that lineup combination. Let me get to the next one. I'm gonna have to fly through these again. I kind of want to be done here, just shortly after 11. I don't want to stay up too late. So that was Jeff. Edward had said he wants to see who gets added with Siwoo, Justin Rose, and Fowler. So we can do that. How much was Siwoo Kim, by the way? Oh, there he is. Siwoo, Justin Rose, and Fowler. Oh, we can't put Rose and Fowler together. They're in the same group. But I'll make the exception. It's like the second time I've ever done it for you, Edward. Actually, I don't know. That might not be true. Xander gets loaded up. What if we say no to Xander? Rory. Okay, that's fine. Cantlay, Smith, Burns, Rose, Fowler, Siwoo Kim. That's a pretty good lineup. You got your 3-7-7s there, but I saw your chat. You said keep Fowler, so that means we'll get rid of Rose and build around these two 7K golfers. Sure, I can add Mito. Mito. So I have a rule in there that says to pick one 9K golfer. I think why Xander gets picked the most is because he's the best value in the 9K range. All right, here you go. This isn't a bad lineup. This happened pretty naturally. Rory, Hatton, Finau, Fowler, Siwoo Kim, Mito Pereira. Yeah, nope, I'll save that one. That one is pretty solid. Has a pretty high point total when it comes to the sweet spot score, so I like it. And let me kick out Finau. Run one more. I like that one. Scotty Scheffler, Xander, Ricky Fowler. I love that. That's good. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Nick wants one. He knows there's a rule. There's a rule breaker in there already. Nick, you still in the chat, by the way? If so, I appreciate you. Let's see here. Rory McIlroy. Let's see, Rory. Did we see Xander? Yeah. And Rose. What was the rule breaker? What's the rule breaker in this one? Dump Rose first. Thanks. Okay. We shall see. Rory, Xander, Finau, Rose, McCarthy, Putnam. I like that one. That's anything that I can see that kind of cascades down like that, like 10, 9, 8, 7, 7, 6, naturally. I mean, that one kind of did right there. I am going to like. Oh, that wasn't a rule. The rule is to pick at least one 9K golfer, but I can have a max up to 3. Yeah, they're actually each bucket. I mean, the 6K range is really the only bucket that I don't necessarily want to pick at least 2 golfers from, but for the US Open, I can make an exception because we've seen it a few times. Oh, that one's kind of whatever. I'm not a huge KH Lee fan this week. This one I like, though. McIlroy, Schauffele, Finau, Rose. So Finau's going to show up a lot, it looks like. Is that something you like? Should we continue with the Finau love, or should we kick him out? Yeah, Nick, I think what has evolved with my process is the ranges, like the projections. And not so much just seeing, oh, you have to pick one of this, one of that, one of this, and then, you know, so on and so forth. I think this is actually a perfect week to do something like 2 9Ks, or even 2 9s and an 8, or a 9 and 2 8s, and then the rest high 7s or something like that. Like, just going over the past optimal GPP winning lineups, you know, lots, the cream rises to the top. And the one thing that I always have to brutally learn every single week is Hey, last week Rory McIlroy finished inside the top 10. I was right. I knew you wanted to play Rory, but he finished 9th. And finishing 9th doesn't necessarily make you money. Because of all the other things that you have to kind of sub out, you lose all that equity, especially when like an $8,100 Nick Taylor wins a tournament. Now it's wide open for lineup building. So I don't see 8,100 always, you know, winning a tournament or even like a 7K golfer. It happens every once in a while, but in lesser fields, which I guess Canadian Open we could call a lesser field. But what, Tommy was $9,700. He was in the optimal, but you know, in the GPP winning lineup. So, you know, just with Tommy being second and an 8K golfer winning it, Rory just kind of becomes obsolete from there. Sure, I mean, I had, so you know what I actually went back and I looked at this. I looked at all of my contests. So it's hard to do this on a phone, but you can do it on a computer. I went back and looked at all my past results on these winner take alls. I lost 4 contests by 4 points or less. 4 points. If CT Pan wins, I win those winner take alls and I get $200. Like that's all it took. And I also had a ton of $5, you know, Fantasy Golf World Champion, the one ticket that you won. I had qualifier tickets that I was in first place in 12 of them. And when the smoke settled, after Rory finished 9th, CT Pan finished 3rd, I only won 2 of them. It's like, are you kidding me? And I had 66 that made it through the cut. Oh, just the tides of DFS golf just sucks. Anyways, this lineup here is pretty decent. I don't care for Sungjae though. Okay, this is a pretty decent. I mean, like Sungjae, the last 2 were pretty good. Sungjae. Oh man, I'm gonna be so out on Sungjae, and this is gonna be the week that he actually plays well. Look at this. You got your core 5 with Grillo of all people in there. Now we kind of change it up. Same price tag. Yeah. Hey, it's cool, dude. You and Henson winning, you know, me winning $200 versus you winning $15,000 and him winning $5,000. As much as I care about me, you guys winning that money is way cooler and more so that I would rather have than me winning $200 and those qualifier tickets. This lineup I like a lot. Yeah, we're saving this one. Another good one, including Pendrith. Sure. Look at this. You have a core 5 right now. And I don't mind these 6Ks that are getting cycled through. That's fair. Another good one. Damn, dude. I'm going to save this one as well. What I kind of like about these is they don't include Adam Scott or Ricky Fowler, which has been showing up a lot in this lineup, all these lineup builds. Keith Mitchell, man. We haven't seen Keith Mitchell. I'm going to kick out Sungjae. Oh, I don't like Tom Kim, but I like this lineup too. Okay, so you're... Okay. Basically, all these lineups that you're giving are these lineups that are being built, I don't really love. But the fact that it's so easy to build lineups with that combination of golfers that you provided, it's like, okay, well, why not build 20 of these and throw them either in the dime time or the quarter arcade, or if you can build 50 of them, you know, put them in, or even more than that, max enter the mini max or something. But it's a good combo. Seems like a pretty good combo. Joey Deaton asks, why are people off Tom Kim? I just think Tom Kim is overrated. That guy is young. He is trying to add muscle. He is trying to upgrade his game. And I think he's gonna remove a lot of the beginner's luck that comes with golf, the innocence that comes with just being on tour for the first time. And I want to say that's probably part of his issue as of late. You know, had the great President's Cup, and I know there's conversation about his diet and stuff like that, so I don't know if that's for health reasons, but changing your diet, losing weight affects your golf swing. He's going to have to figure it out. So I'm going to do a wait and see method when it comes to Tom Kim, as opposed to, you know, trying to put my convictions in him this week. I think it's fine. Okay. So we're moving on. Let's see here. So Nick, we got yours. Ian says Cantlay and Hovland. Okay. Okay. So, okay. We'll do this one, and then Joey, I see yours, and then that'll probably be it. I know, Barry. I already said that I wanted to be done like 2 minutes ago, and I said that 12 minutes ago, and I'm still going. It's just the nature of, I mean, if Cole's in the chat, he knows. I'm long-winded. I will continue talking and talking and talking and talking. But I mean, I wouldn't be talking if you guys weren't here. So appreciate you guys being here. Let's see. I just ran it without anything. Cantlay and Hovland. Cantlay, Hovland, Fitzpatrick. Oh yeah, the 9K rule. Yeah, let's get rid of that. But not terrible. I mean, I don't mind seeing something like that. Well, Barry comes in here. Barry comes in here. Who else comes in here? And they usually just say, "There's no way." Like Alex McCullough will show up. Same with Ryan McQueen. Ryan McQueen will always show up and be like, "Do you thought you could leave? Nope, you got to stay here." Sung Jae. I'm gonna kick. Do you like Sung Jae by chance? I'll keep Sung Jae, Ian, if you want me to, but I just have every bone in my body saying kick him out of the lineup. We've seen so many Sung Jae lineups. It's gonna be the same dudes: Adam Scott, Grillo, Putnam. You already know this. So I mean, like the last ones we saw with what, Hovland and who were they? Hovland and Smith. It's going to be the same golfers that you get there. Epka and Hovland. You're going to get Scott, McCarthy. You're going to get the same dudes. Okay. Cantlay, Hovland, Tom Kim, Clark, Scott, Hadwin. Not terrible, but actually, I'll keep Kim up there. Were you one of the guys that asking about? Nope, that was Joey. Tom Kim, we kicking him out or no? Hardy, huh? Okay, all right. Nick Hardy, hey, I don't mind it. He's a PGA Tour winner. Fits the narrative of 6K golfers. I'm gonna go ahead and remove Tom Kim. And Joey, if you want to ask about Rainmakers, go for it, man. I can multitask. Here's a lineup I like. Cantley, Hovland, Thigala, Scott, McCarthy, Grillo. I think we probably already saved this one, right? But it was like Victor and Brooks, I imagine. We have the same one up here. Emiliano Grillo. We did not. Okay, cool. I thought I already saved it. Oh wait, maybe I did. It was close. It's right. There's one right here. Saved a lot of lineups already. Dude, Joey, do you follow me on Twitter? I think you do, right? Can't remember if I saw something, or I think you do. I crafted a John Rahm card. I crafted a John Rahm card from Sung Kang, which I think had like a $3 price tag on him. And then who was the other guy? Yeah, that's probably what's gonna happen. It was Michael Gligic, $2.70. So him and Sung Kang got me a John Rahm card. It was that. I mean, my rare crafting experience has been really crappy. I've probably done it like I can't remember if it's been like 8 times or maybe it's been 10 times. But then I built or I crafted another one. I don't know what. I can't remember what. Oh, it was the Rainmakers thing. So this week, if you craft a rare card, it's the scramble special or whatever. I'm like, sure, I'll just go ahead and I'll just craft a rare. I'll get rid of 2 of my crappy cards. Boom, John Rahm happens. It's like, okay, how much does this card cost? $160. Cool. Okay, I went $5 plus the $10 token, 15, and got myself a $160 card. So it's like I just netted a profit of 145 right then and there. And now I can play Rahm this week in a rare contest. Yeah, sign me up. That was awesome. I've been having a really fun experience on Rainmakers. Okay, Ian says go ahead and ditch it. Sure. Let's see here. There was one more, right? Hovland and Brooks. There it is. No, that's what you already. Yeah, we already did that. The Cali Boys lineup, Joey. That's right. Okay. You wrote the names down. There it is. Xander, Homa, and Morikawa. You got it. Xander, Homa, Morikawa. This actually works out just fine. We gotta break the rule. Gotta break the rule for the group in the same, or golfers in the same group. Be fine though. Scott, Henley, Hadwin. Not terrible. Not terrible. Yeah, I can show you. So my cards, Craft and Burn, PGA Tour, 6623. Yep, this one right here. This is where I got. I showed you guys, so someone mentioned this on stream, because I went here, buy an eligible token. It's much cheaper to go into your drops and buy them here. Although it looks like the rare tokens are gone. People hit their maxes, so now you're gonna have to buy them. Okay. Crazy. They have numbers down here, like you can only buy so many of them. So this one has like 18,000 remain. People went into the rare ones and just boom, purchased all of them. So I think you have to. You have to actually buy them on the market. I hate that you can't actually see, like, whatever reason it's not showing up, but anyways, yeah. That's what you have to do. There she is in all of her glory, or there he is in all of his glory. The crafted genre. Love it. So do the cards just reset when the season ends? From what I gather, yeah, they get minted. I think the term is minted. So they just stay in your collection, but you can't use them for the next year. And I don't know if that even provides you a benefit of having them, but my goal is there's going to be some point here where I'll just do a card dump and I'm going to sell most of my cards for whatever I can get. Like I can sell. So I sold an Austin Eckroat card. I bought him for like $12 last week because I wanted to bump up my leaderboard score. If you buy rookie cards, that's the best way to bump up your leaderboard score because you get, you know, the 2x multiplier for your rookies. And then, yeah, so I bought a rare one, so that's also a 2x multiplier. So you're going to get 4 times having a rare Austin Eckroat. Well, that ends up being one of the promos this week. So my $12 card I sold for $40 or the $36, something like that. So like I just profited 20 some bucks. I know if Byron was here, he did that for Jason Day because Jason Day is a part of that promo too. Like the cards are just way more. So I got $15 from the leaderboard. I got $40, well, $30. We'll call it a $30 profit from Austin Eckroat. So it's like I got 45 bucks for participating last week. I did buy cards. I'm not sure what my EV is, or not EV, my break even right now, like wherever that is. But with the ROM card I have now, I'll probably sell them next week or the week after. We'll see. We'll double check. I'm not absolutely positive on that. But this week I put a bunch of money into rookies for elite cards. And they were all Genesis, so I should get 100 points for each one of those cards that I bought that were Genesis set, that were elite rookie cards. I just wanted to boost up my leaderboard score because okay, yep, let's talk about sorry. So if I click on this, there was a moment where I actually got an additional like $30 and I didn't know where the hell it came from. They're the snapshots down here, reward snapshots. So you have your weekly reward, right? This is from Tuesday to Monday. So depending on where you are with the points, this is how much money you'll get in return. So this is you buying cards, actively buying, having new cards in your portfolio. Every week it just resets. So you want, you know, and it depends on what you're doing to get those cards and what cards that you're actually buying, because, you know, there are point totals and stuff like that. You know, base points per card, for the rarity. So like I told you, I was doing those rare rookie cards, or I had that rare Austin Eckroat. He gave me 5 points for just being rare. I think he was just a part of a, let's say he's a part of a prize set. So we start with the base, 5. Multiply that by 2 for the prize set, so now you got 10. And he's a rookie. So rookie status, you get another 2. So 10 times 2 is 20 points. You get 20 points from that one card, as opposed to holding a Stuart Sink core card, you'd only get 1 point. So it's like, you know, it's a little bit worth it to go get your rookies that are rares. Well, I bought a bunch of elites, or not a bunch, I bought 3 elites in this Genesis. So right away, 25 times 5, 125 times 2, 250. So I actually should get 250 points from them. I think that's what I did. Let me double check. Let's see, is this a Genesis? Oh, this, are they? Okay, never mind. I got 1 Genesis. I thought I had more. Maybe I did with a different one. So Genesis, prize, and prize. So this Matty Schmidt should get me 250 points. These were just prize sets. So prize sets, just that 2 times multiplier. So this will be 25 times 2. So that'll be 50, and times 2, which will be 100. So I'll get 100 for those other 2, 250 for the Matty Schmidt. Maybe I'll play them in a couple contests that allow me to do elite stuff, but honestly, they're not super great. Hey Josh, good night, man. They're not super great cards, but for this week, because there's an extra snapshot, so not only do you get this weekly snapshot, but this is what I didn't realize. I think I got it for the PGA Championship. So this this right here, the snapshot, they also record this during the PGA Championship, what you're doing on the leaderboard. So you get an additional money. I thought I got $30. Maybe I just had gotten 20. Maybe that's what it was. I got an additional 20 because of the PGA Championship. Well, now there's this US Open snapshot. So whatever you're doing here, like 400 first to 1,000 to $30, you can get inside 200. You're gonna get an additional 75 to go on top of your weekly snapshot, by the way. So let's say you get inside the top 400. Let's say top 250. You're gonna get 50 bucks here. And then for the US Open, if you get inside the top 250, you're gonna be right here. Let's pretend we're at 240. You get 75 plus that 50. So you get $125 DK dollars that gets sent to your account. So then you just go to your weekly leaderboard and try to figure out, okay, so how do I get inside the top 250? Well, you need about 533 points currently. Remember, this goes all the way Tuesday to Monday at midnight Eastern Standard Time. So, you know, this is gonna be what, 11:59 Monday night, 11:59, and then Tuesday at midnight is when it resets. So all the way up until Monday, you're gonna have to be sweating the leaderboard to see how much money you get, and it's all again based off of what cards you bought during that week. So really, if you want to get the most bang for your buck, you would go to the shop, and honestly, I would go like rookie status. This is easy. It's a 2-time multiplier, right? Super easy. Here's a rare card that you could buy. We could even go like set name. Let's just do Genesis. You know, you're gonna get the 5 times multiplier from this. We can go price low to high. Here's a Genesis right here. Rare card 1150. Remember, it's the rare tier is you start with 5 points? I think that's what a rare is. So you start with a base of 5. I'd have to double check. Maybe not. I already forgot. Yeah, rare, you start with 5. And if it's in the Genesis set, boom, 5 times. That's 25 points right there. And then the rookie status will give you 50. So that card right here is $50 or 50 points towards your score. Can you justify 1150? I mean, that's entirely up to you guys. Can you justify that to try to jump up the leaderboard? Like, the Genesis that I bought was 5490. It actually was, I feel like it's this exact card, but I bought it for 5490. Is that gonna, you know, like, if I'm trying to rush inside the top, you know, 250, I need 500 points. That one alone gets me 250 points. So I need 2 of those. So 2 of those actually pay off, right? If you think about it, 2 of those, they'll cost me $110, but it'll get me currently inside the top 250th place. Gets me $50 for the weekly snapshot, gets me $75 for the PGA, for the US Open snapshot. Now, is that really worth it? I don't know, because it's going to fluctuate, right? It's going to go all the way until next Monday. So you're going to have to add more cards to it, adding more money to it to try to stay inside that 125. But guess what? You get to sell these cards the next week. If you're doing this actively, where you're buying and selling, buying and selling, buying and selling, you are just going to get those free weekly leaderboard, you know, monies, because you can sell this again for $54 next week. I'm not sure if you'll sell, but what if you can only sell for $50? You gonna take a $4 hit to make $125? Probably, right? So that's a whole, you know, wrinkle that I'm just learning, that I'm starting to think about when it comes to these. So, and like, look, Austin Eckler at 45. I was telling you I sold mine for 46, and it wasn't a Genesis. Actually the prices for these went down. I can't see any more Austin Eckroats, but people probably already purchased all of them. Anyways, yeah, so that, I think that applies for anything you want to learn with Rainmakers. Yeah. That's just the only other new thing that I learned with Rainmakers. Let me build a couple more of the California kids. This is a really good lineup, by the way. So too is this one. These are all really, okay. I kind of want to go back and save that last one. Who's still watching? Raise your hand. Probably only gonna save like 3 of these and then move on. Now, almond bread, what's going on, man? How long have you been here? The whole time? Just kind of chilling. Chilling out, maxing, relaxing out, cool now, shooting some b-ball outside of the school. That kind of chilling. Did we just save this one? McCarthy. Pretty much. Anything you guys want to see before calling it a night? Absolutely, Joey. Absolutely. Yeah, almond bread. Do you want to see any lineup build? Here's a different one. I'll save this one. Ooh, I like this one too. Sweet. Appreciate you guys. Thank you for being here the whole time. It's the music, right? It's obviously the music. All right. Let's see. My favorite lineups. Forgot who asked me to do this last week. Jeff, I think. I think what I'm going to do. so far with building lineups, I think I'm going to first find my favorite recent form 2 7K golfers. And I think what I want to do is just anchor around them. So Fleetwood might be one of them. Corey Connors could be another. I mean, we like Denny McCarthy, right? So sure, let's do Denny. And ooh, I thought Russell Henley. So Russell Henley is also a recent form 2 guy. I don't mind Russell Henley. Wise is a 4. I like that. I also like Kirk as a 4. I probably like Wise more than Kirk though. Mitchell's a 4. More. I don't want to really stick on 4s. How about a 3? Cam Davis. There we go. I totally forgot about Cam Davis. Do we do... Okay, I don't want Davis and Denny. Let's do Davis and Henley. And I'm going to leave... I'll let the optimizer pick Scott. If it wants to pick Scott, then perfect. But we're going to leave it right here. I didn't do much research yet, Almond Bread says. My main question is how many California specialists can be rostered on one team, assuming they're mostly going over owned. Ian, good night, man. Good luck as you're leaving. Yeah, that would be fun. I'd be on the budget end of Rainmakers, while he and fucking Joel, they just spend like thousands of dollars on Rainmakers. Not my style, but if I make enough money, I would. I just don't. Anyways, back to Almond Bread. It's interesting because California specialists would imply POA mostly. Like if you think of California specialists, you're thinking of Pebble, you're thinking of Farmers, and or Pebbles, Torrey. You're thinking of Pebble, Torrey, and the Genesis. I forget which course that's called. Riviera, Pebble, and Torrey. They're all POA golf courses. You also have the desert, you know, with the American Express, but I don't consider that a California specialist. Like, that is such different golf. That is not California golf. That's desert golf. I wouldn't include that in the California mix. This is a Bermuda golf course with bent grass greens. This also, so like, you have the Barrancas, which are a very Southern California thing. Like, that's kind of a desert style. I mean, in Palm Springs, when I lived there, there's Barrancas almost on every golf course. Not the golf courses I worked at, but the other ones that I went to and played. So there is I guess there is a level of California-ish-ness, whatever you want to call it, to this golf course. But I think that's an extremely slippery slope to consider, you know, California specialists for this golf course. You know, like Max Homa shot the course record here back when he was playing in the Pac-10 tournament. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be the same conditions as the U.S. Open. He says it fits his game. Sure, it's not a U.S. Open, like he didn't have U.S. Open conditions. He's not terrible on bent grass, but he's definitely much better on POA or overseed. Well, I suppose bent grass would be what? Wells Fargo at the time he won? I don't think it was pure Bermuda at that time. So I don't know. That could work out. I'm not putting much stock into Colin Morikawa. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think if you want, you could put as many California specialists in your lineup as you want. I think it's fine. I mean, who do we consider California specialists? Rahm, Cantlay, Xander, Homa, Morikawa, DJ, I guess. Jason Day. Are those our California specialists? Because like Rahm is just, he's his own beast, right? I'm as much as he is a California specialist, I want to put him up there, but like Homa would definitely be, right? Homa, Xander, and Cantlay, they're all West Coast players. Again, this is bent grass greens and Bermuda rough. I would mostly look at that stuff. And then you can add the California component to it. Cali is the top California specialist because of his East Coast splits are so much worse. I agree, man. Yeah, I agree. I think that's a POA thing more than a California thing. He's number 3 in my model though, so like that works. And I don't consider anything with California. He's good on bent, has a 33% clip of finishing inside the top 10 on bent grass. He's better on Bermuda with average finishing position and same clip and getting top 10s for Bermuda golf courses, and you know, pretty decent Bermuda stats this last year or within the last calendar year. I mean, compared to his peers, pretty good. Like, he's better than Brooks in those categories. He's pretty darn close to Scotty Scheffler in those categories. He's better than Hovland. Not as good as Rory. Better than Schaff. Well, kind of the same as Schauffele. Like, they kind of they differ when it comes to bent grass. Schauffele's better. When it comes to Bermuda, Cantlay is better. So there's interesting there. I mean, Homa on bent, not super great, and also not super great when it comes to Bermuda. Adam Scott Thigala. Cantlay won the Zozo. Is that who we're talking about? Cantlay? I think that's who you're talking about. I mean, that's possible. Yeah, absolutely. Let's see here. It was a limited field too. I don't know how much. I'm not trying to really downplay that. I think there is merit to it. You said Thigala and who? Adam Scott. So yeah, Thigala. Not terrible, not great. You know, like pretty decent bent grass stats, and Bermuda's fine for Thigala. Probably not enough stats under him. Still pretty rates out pretty well in my model, and he was being selected with the optimizer quite a bit. And then Scott, yeah, Scott's pretty good. Not a really high top 10 clip, but solid all the way around. Like when you look at his average finishing place on bent grass, you know, overall, and even just last year, to go along with his Bermuda, it's like 35-25. 33-27. So within 35 to 25, and when we look at the rest of the guys, even at the top, you know, I guess 35-25 doesn't beat any of these guys up top. It beats Jordan Spieth, pretty much Fitzpatrick, kind of Cam Smith, not so much Tyrrell, I guess. Tony Finau, JT. So yeah, those are good golfers. I like that. Yeah, and we'll see, man. Like if Thigala can perform on a US Open track, you know, despite playing it before and all that good stuff, it's a US Open now. So if he can play with that pressure and he can play with the the course, how they're gonna bake it out and play it out much firmer and faster than what they typically do, then yeah, absolutely. I would say, you know, I always like to, I forget to do this, but if I'm using 100 points, the California Specialist, I might add 5. 5 might be the only, like, that is as much as I'm putting towards California Specialists. Maybe a little more, but 5 seems like the smartest amount of points I'd put towards it, or weights that I'd put towards my player pool. Yeah. By the way, I like this lineup. Scheffler, Rory, to go with Adam Scott, Davis, and Henley for my 7K golfers. It's freaking sexy as hell. I'll build some more. Just about 2 or 3 more. I don't know. How do you feel about that almond bread? Do you like that? No? What are your feelings on it? I think if you wanted to build an all California team, that'd be fine. I don't see a big issue with that. I don't like Sungjae. Not a terrible lineup, but I just don't care for Sungjae. There we go. Ooh, 4 7Ks. I don't mind it, but I don't want it. Thorbjornsen burned backers last week. Stanford player who made the cut in Brookline. So I kind of did a deep dive on the 6K range a little earlier in the video. And if you're not a mainstay, like a golfer who's been on tour for, you know, 3 to 5 or 2 to 5 years, somewhere in there, probably don't go with any of the 6K golfers. Unless you think Thorbjornsen will be a future PGA Tour winner, which I mean the jury's out still on Thorbjornsen in my opinion, but we just stay away from those 6K golfers. We don't need to dip down that deep. I don't mind Cam Davis with Henley. 3 and a 2. Is there another 2 that I like? I don't really care for Straka. Don't care for Norman. Eckroat though. Okay. Don't mind Eckroat. Do we think these greens count as... Yes, I think they do. A lot of people talking about like the similarities between this and Augusta when it comes to greens, so I think they're very sloped. Oh, this one picks Henley just naturally. Not terrible. Not something I want. He has the pedigree, won US Junior, T5 or T10 at Travelers last year. Yeah, I still would want to see more from Thorbjornsen. I would want to see more. Like I don't even put like Austin Eckroat in this conversation of, you know, future PGA Tour winners. I think he has the talent, and I'm sure that's what you're trying to say with Thorbjornsen. But I don't know, man. I'm not sure. If you have convictions to play them, but I'm just gonna ignore them. A lot of high 8Ks is trying to make me play. like the McCarthy, but kind of not liking these Echo alignments. Okay, I don't mind this one. So I haven't seen this build yet. This is pretty solid. Alrighty, I think that's it. I think we're gonna call our quits. Any other questions? Any other final thoughts? Anything? Okay. I think you can make the cut, and I think the salary saving could pay off different premium lineups you can use him to make. If he makes a hole-in-one, he could be an optimal. Yeah, it's a lot of what ifs. I don't know, man. I'm not. So, you know, we obviously have our brain and our heart that we follow. Neither one of mine, like brain or heart, is behind Thorbjornsen. I think if he makes the cut, awesome, but I don't think he'll be in the optimal lineup. I don't think he'll finish inside the top 10, and I don't think any lineup that has him is going to do better than min cash. It's kind of just my feelings on it. If you disagree, that's fine. I'm not gonna. That's not a hill that I'm going to, you know, die on. I don't have a leg in the Michael Thorbjornsen race. So if it's something you like, so be it. I think that's wonderful. But it's too much of a risk. And never. This has been my thing since I've learned. Never fall in love with the 6K golfer. Don't disrespect one, kind of like what you might be thinking I'm doing right now with Thorbjornsen. But I would try to stay away from falling in love with the 6K golfer. They're down there for a reason. But hey, if you find the diamond in the rough, wonderful. I'm not trying to talk you. I'm not so much trying to talk you off of Thorbjornsen as opposed to like understanding the risk that you're playing. Every once in a while you see a tourney where you need 3 expensive guys and the remaining options are all low price guys who only made the cut. Yeah, I think if you were to ever go low, I mean, like how, okay, I guess before we even, when you're making that argument, the only consideration is what contest are you playing? If you're playing in a top heavy where you're playing in an expensive contest where the payout structure is top heavy, I don't think I don't think having 3 guys that make the cut that are low priced will help you win more than, you know, like if you put 5, if you go to put that into the drive the green, I don't think you win more than $20, which, hey, that's happy for everyone else. Like that's, you know, people are ecstatic for that kind of thing, but I think that's your ceiling. I don't think you can make more than that with Michael Thorbjornsen. Or golfers like him, or lineups like, you know, where you have 3 really expensive guys. It's like, you know, I go over the pass optimal and GPP winning lineups every single week, and I didn't get that read as to your low 6K guys, you know, and honestly, earlier on in this video, I did do a deep dive on the 6K range, and if you didn't see a name that was either a mainstay or a future PGA Tour winner, which is hard to do, but it's like, I think Nick Hardy would be the only guy that we saw. Him and Trey Mullinax. So if you can figure out those 2 guys, but isn't Michael Thorbjornsen still an amateur? Because like Nick Hardy was not an amateur last year, to my knowledge, and I don't think Trey Mullinax right here in 2017 was an amateur either. outside of those two 6K guys, we went through every 6K guy that finished inside the top 20. Everybody, like, I have them all highlighted right now. You know, Victor Hovland, if Michael Thorbjornsen is Victor Hovland, you know, disguised, then shame on me, but I just don't see Michael Thorbjornsen's game being anything like that. Same goes with like Xander Schauffele up here. So anyways, yeah, I went through and I looked at every 6K golfer, and if they weren't a veteran, oh, Guido Migliozzi, that was another one. But he, I think, had already won on the DP World Tour by the time he had a top 4 finish at the US Open. Yeah, I don't know. Almost won $250,000 with Xinju Zhang at 2021 Memorial because top guys went high priced. I mean, I know you've been to this channel multiple times before. I think what I constantly advocate for is playing a 6K golfer and not caring who it is. Like, there is some structure that comes with it, but I mean, Andrew Landry won Stewie the quarter arcade for the American Express. How did he, you ask, how did you get to Landry? It's like, oh, it was part of my cascading thing, or it was just a random golfer that I threw in there. It isn't necessarily because, you know, he found the golfers up top that he wanted to play. It was because Andrew Landry won the tournament. And Xinju Zhang isn't a terrible golfer. He's been on tour for a while. I would call him a mainstay. He's been on the tour for a while. I guess he doesn't have his card right now. At least I don't think he does. Yeah, you're gonna find these random 6K guys. That's why I go through the pass optimal and GPP winning lineups all the time. Try to figure out who are the 6K golfers you want to build your lineups around. Some of these guys don't make sense. Some of these guys do make sense. Like Hayden Buckley last year, were you gonna ever play Hayden Buckley? He was the stone min. He was in the optimal lineup. So to your argument, Michael Thorbjornsen could be this guy right here. He could be Hayden Buckley. It's just when you look at all the 6K golfers that are above him, because yeah, the optimal lineup's hard to get to, but you could also win a GPP winning lineup with not having it. Like I built the SweetSpot optimal, which scored 2 more points than the $5 GPP. They used Joel Damon and Denny McCarthy, mainstays. Yeah, your optimal had Hayden Buckley, but you know. So, hey, if you were to say, hey, you know, I'm going to play every 6K golfer because one of them has the opportunity to make a hole in one, I'd say, okay, cool. You have good opportunities. But if you're going to narrow it down and say Michael Thorbjornsen might get a hole in one, I'd say, okay, that's too narrow. You're thinking way too narrowly about, you're putting too much stock into Michael Thorbjornsen. I don't want him to tank your lineups because he has the capability to do that. I'd rather you be like, yeah, I'm going to play Michael Thorbjornsen in, you know, 1 out of 10 lineups. And I'd be like, hey, that's awesome. That's wonderful. Or if you're just making one lineup, unless you know, went and traveled in the future and found out that Thorbjornsen's your guy, that you know that he does finish inside the top 10 or he's going to win you a GPP, then by all means play him. My argument isn't like don't play Thorbjornsen, it's just understand the risk, and I don't think he's a super great play. I mean, this could be, or that could be, who do we say? Hayden Buckley? Pretty similar stat profile, except the cut made percentage not super high. Course history is 82, recent form's 85. Course history is 85, recent form's 80. Did play US Open the year before. So too did Michael Thorbjornsen. So yay. If you think that's the dude, that's the dude. From Cleveland, Ohio. Went to school at Stanford. So, has a morning tea time. Yeah, I would like him better. I mean, he missed the cut at the Rocket Mortgage Classic. So you made the cut at the Travelers, minus 19 score. Missed the cut at Rocket. Played in the desert, or the Dubai Desert Classic, minus 9. Finished 20th place there. Canadian Open that you just played and missed the cut. I don't know, man. Yeah, so northeast, like he comes from the northeast. So yeah, bent grass, maybe we give him a little bit of a bump on bent grass. That would make sense. Anyways, I gotta get going. It's too late. It's almost midnight. I went a full hour after I wanted to leave. I think if I'm building lineups for me though, I will do 2 6K guys, and none of them will be less than 6,500. Like I'll do a 69 and a 67. That'll give me at least a little bit of lineup relief or roster relief when it comes to wanting to own some of the top guys. I think there's a lot of value in the 9K range. So you might not even have to drop down that far in the 6Ks to build a good lineup. But anyways, hey, appreciate the conversation. Hopefully, you know, there's no ill will or anything like that towards Michael Thorbjornsen. I think if you want to play him, you play him. You got your convictions on him, you play him. Interesting play nonetheless, but you do you, man. And hopefully you cash big. If you do play him and he does well, you get to come here next week and say, I told you so. And I'll be here and I will accept it. I'll be like, yep, you're right. But anyways, yeah, good luck to you too, man. Anyone else that stayed this long. I'm not even gonna do the giveaway reminders. You can check those out in the beginning of the video if you want to see what they are. Yes, Almond Bread Rio is in the field. But I'm closing down the chat, so. Anyways, everyone, I think Rio's in the field. Thank you all for joining. Hope you enjoyed. And let's cash big. Thank you for watching. Please leave a like on your way out. Subscribe if you haven't. And leave a comment when this goes back up on the replay. Get an entry into the giveaway.